4th down and 6. Olbridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look, corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the Profs will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, makes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxie. Yoxie to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
And Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions. Live from the Waranenko Arena in Roselle, New Jersey, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into Week 5 of the American Arena League and coverage of the Jersey Bearcats as they take on the Tri-State Panthers and what they hope is going to be a bounce-back effort. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Foreman alongside my broadcast partner, John McCooch, and we are closing in on kickoff here in Waranenko, but as always, we begin our broadcast by welcoming you in to the Brownstone Grill in Metuchen pregame show. And John, you and Dave have been here covering Bearcats football twice already this season, and I'm glad to be back on headset here in Roselle for the first time this season. And speaking of first, you saw something last week that we have never seen here on PDF in 4 years of covering Jersey Bearcats football. An opponent coming into Waranenko and scoring a decisive win over the Bearcats. How did the Lions put together such a dominant effort last week, and what are you looking for from the Bearcats tonight as they look to get back over the 500 mark for the season?
Joe, first off, great to be here with you in Roselle and great to have you on your first Jersey Bearcats broadcast of the season. But here's the thing with Columbus. Their offense was so fast and they got the ball out quick. They took momentum early in that game. And when you can move the ball as efficiently as they did, you will win a lot of football games. So it's becoming clear that on paper there's a front runner of the AAL, and it is the Lions. However, you take a look at the Bearcats, and teams tend to get better throughout the season. And I don't expect the score to be as lopsided as when those two teams meet again later in the season. We'll talk about later in the season later as well. But the Bearcats, they had their moments as well. The scoreline is, of course, lopsided, but that was a result of the game getting out of hand with a lot of early turnovers, center to quarterback snap mistakes, defensive injuries causing miscommunication. This is a get-right game for this Bearcats team, and they need it, and they need to turn up the intensity defensively after a game like that.
And a big part of getting right, John, as well, avoiding those self-inflicted wounds. We'll talk more about that as the night continues, but let's quickly shift our focus to the AAL standings entering the night. First, we should note that while today's game is technically an exhibition game between the Bearcats of the AAL and the Panthers of the AAL2, this game will still count in the standings. However, it will not factor into the playoff positioning for these two teams. You get a look at the standings up on the screen now, and John, the Bearcats now find themselves in third following the loss to Columbus last week, while the Lions created even more space between themselves and the rest of the AAL. Even if Jersey cannot catch them, they would still love to secure one of the top 2 spots in the standings to avoid potentially traveling a long way in the first round of the playoffs.
At the end of the day, you can only scoreboard watch and standing watch so much. The Bearcats are going to have to start stringing some wins together if they want to find themselves in that spot. Columbus seems to be pretty comfortable holding on to first place, so that's not the team you want to follow as much for the time being. Jersey and Wheeling, that's going to be the race to follow going forward when it comes to seeding for the postseason. Getting that second spot, like you mentioned, is important to avoid that long trip. These 4 teams in the AAL are not very close to each other in terms of proximity, so that makes defending your house, like we'll see tonight, so important throughout the season. In terms of this game today, it is beyond important for them to put up a strong performance, gain some momentum back, and just iron out all the issues they were dealing with last week in this building.
And if you're the Bearcats, John, I don't think there is any doubt you're looking to come out and make a statement here tonight after the loss 1 week ago. That being said, it's right back to league play with a big matchup next week, and 3 of the team's last 4 games after tonight will come against AAL opponents. It's always dangerous to get caught looking ahead for any team, but there's no denying how important those 3 league games are going to be for the Bearcats. 2 coming against teams that have already beaten them this season, and another against a Wolfpack team that shocked them in the closing seconds of last year's AAL2 championship.
Joe, it's really interesting because when you factor in last year's championship game, the Bearcats have a motivating factor against all of those teams. That Wolfpack game, despite getting a road win this season, I'm sure is going to be on their minds next game between them, and they will have revenge to seek against Wheeling and Columbus. So the want to win is not an issue for this Bearcats team, but to get wins against those teams, you have to start playing better, and that is what today is all about. Put yourself in position to have momentum, give yourself belief that you can go out and beat those teams and avoid having to travel on the road to start things out once we get around to the postseason.
And before we get a chance to speak to some of the Bearcats, let's shift our focus over to the Tri-State Panthers for a bit. This is a relatively new organization founded just last year, and tonight they play in just their 3rd game as a member of the AAL2. They undoubtedly have a tough test tonight against a Bearcats team that is not lost very often here at Waranenko. What more can you tell us about this Tri-State team, and how do they go about making a splash in the AAL2 with a win against the Bearcats here tonight?
Yeah, this is a former AIF team that made the move to AAL2, and they're looking to develop themselves as a program. And playing better football, that'll be key when it comes to that. This is a huge challenge for them tonight, but for a new organization that is still building, these are games that if you win or even if you put up a really good fight, it gives you a ton to build on going forward. The AAL2 is solid, it is competitive, and playing these games against AAL teams, it tests your mettle, allows you to see just how good you are. So while on paper, most would say this should be a game the Bearcats would expect to win, this Tri-State squad is looking to get a win of their own tonight, so let's see if they can get it done.
2-2 Bearcats look to get back in the win column against the 1-1 Panthers coming up shortly here on the PDF Sports Network. But before kickoff, John heads down to the field to talk to some of the Bearcats ahead of tonight's game. It's all coming up next right here on the Brownstone Grill in Metuchen pregame show. Stay with us. And we are back from the Waranenko Sports Arena as we continue our pregame coverage as part of the Brownstone Grill in Metuchen pregame show. Joe Foreman on the call here alongside John McCooch. And prior to tonight's game, John got a chance to head down to field level and talk to some of the Bearcats. As always, we begin on the offensive side of the ball, followed by a defensive player, and of course wrapping up with head coach A.J. Roque. On the offensive side, John got a chance to speak to Nas Adams. On the defensive side, he got a chance to speak to Nick Price, then of course followed by Coach Roque. And in just a few moments, we'll throw it down to John on field level. He will be joined by Nas Adams in just a few moments. John, take it away.
John McCusker alongside Nas Adams of the Jersey Bearcats. And Nas, for this offense, we'll start out with that. How big is it for this offense to get back on track after last week?
We're just trying to get together some of the missing pieces that we haven't had. A lot of it has been self-inflicted, so we're just trying to get things in order and get back on track and play our brand of football.
After a loss like last week, tough Columbus team you played against, how big is it to be back here at home against the team of the AL2? Can't underestimate them, but how big is it to be back at home here today?
I mean, we can't underestimate anybody, and being back in front of the home crowd is always good. It's better to be in front of our people, you get what I'm saying, put back on a show, especially after a loss from last week. You never want to leave on a bad note, so hopefully we'll finish on a win, go into the off week, and then we'll go into Wheeling. So we're just trying to focus on today and kind of get things rolling.
Heading into this game, what was the message heading into this game against this Panther team?
Just get back into playing our brand of football. We have kind of fallen out of that. We've been all over the place, kind of, mentally. So we're trying to get back, play our brand, Bearcat football, and kind of stick together. That's kind of our biggest thing, sticking together. Because if you kind of see, sometimes extracurricular activities can take us outside of our game. So we're just trying to stick together and keep it here.
All right. Thank you, Nas. We'll send it back up to Joe up there.
All right, thank you, John. I think we should expect to see a healthy dose of Nas Adams here tonight. We now shift our attention over to the defensive side of the ball as John is joined on field level by Nick Price.
John McCusker alongside Nick Price of the Jersey Bearcats. And my first question for you, obviously a tough loss last week. Kind of what's the message to rebound after a game like that?
To be honest with you, we just got to make sure we lock in on all three phases of the game. Just come together as a team. It was a big learning experience for us. We came up short, but that doesn't define the team that we are.
You're here on the blackout night here against the Panthers. How big is it to be at home, needing to rebound, being at home in front of the fans for a game?
Oh, yeah. Well, unfortunately, these guys got to pay for last week. So, it's going to be a real good game. We're going to have to make sure we jump on these guys early. We don't take the foot off the gas.
I mean, we'll hope to see you on kickoffs, right? What happened about that last week? A big kickoff last week.
Yeah. It was a bit surprising for me, but, just got to do what you got to do. When you get in the game, you just got to play football.
See, the Bearcats can do what they got to do. Nick, thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man.
We'll be back upstairs on the PDF Sports Network.
We're back from Waranenko. Thanks again, John. One more conversation coming up during our pregame coverage. John is joined by head coach A.J. Roque.
John McCusker alongside A.J. Roque, coach of the Jersey Bearcats. And obviously, the first question, let's get this part out of the way, right? Tough loss last week. A lot of points right there, about 50 points. So how do you kind of rebound? What's the message to a team after that kind of loss?
Just, right, forget about it, right? Move on. Like, we got to learn from the mistakes that we watched in that film, right, and get better there. And that's where we got to start with execution tonight.
That's a big thing. So what kind of mistakes, what's the big key, right? What's the big thing to clean up after that?
Just not knowing our assignments. That was really it. Just not understanding calls. And we kind of fixed that this week in practice. So we should be just fine.
And then obviously playing at home, again, back-to-back home games. You're going against an AAL2 team. Can't underestimate them, of course, though. So how big is it to play at home after that game?
Oh, still, to come back and just play, a game period is even better. But it's even better is at home. And, right, you got another chance to be in front of your fans and learn from your mistakes last week.
Right. Thank you so much. Best of luck to the Jersey Bearcats today. And we'll send it back up to Joe up there.
All right, thank you, John, and thank you to Bearcats head coach A.J. Roque. And we are closing in on kickoff here in Waranenko. We have, of course, passed our scheduled 6 p.m. kickoff, but we do expect to get started hopefully within the next 20 or 30 minutes. We will keep you posted on the start time of tonight's game and share any information we have for you regarding that start time when we come back. But for now, we are going to send it to another commercial break, and coming up shortly here on PDF, it's kickoff between the Bearcats and Panthers.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at Kessler-PT.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
Zollner Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL, the AAL2, and your Jersey Bearcats. Zollner provides class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See the incredible selection and touch of class at Zollner. Visit us at zchampionshiprings.com and see our competitive pricing. Give Director of Sales, Joseph Khalil, a call at 1-800-303-8548. Zollner, official ring provider of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calv wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen?
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
Joe Foreman and John McCooch back with you from the Waranenko Sports Arena as we close in on kickoff between the Jersey Bearcats and the Tri-State Panthers. And John, we were informed during the break that we should expect to be getting started in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm not sure what that means for player introductions and the national anthem, but we were told 5 or 10 minutes. Now, taking a look over to the left side of the 50, or in this case, the 25, that will take some getting used to for me. I see you counting up now, John. How many Panthers do you see?
9. We got 9 Panthers according to my rough counting at the moment. So again, 7-on-7 football, 9 players. You got 2 subs if that's the number. And we'll obviously give you a better number as the thing goes on. But Joe, that's a very interesting point. There might be a few more guys in the locker room that'll come out. But even if you only have 12, 13 guys or whatever, you're going to have a big problem with stamina, with staying in the game, with energy and all of that, because these guys are going to play both sides of the ball. A lot of players do that anyway for some teams and all that, but you are going to have to play both sides of the ball. You have guys that maybe haven't really practiced a ton at corner, playing corner because they usually play receiver. You just have to go with speed. So the Bearcats, I mean, they're going to have an opportunity to take advantage of that if they're able to. And again, we'll give you more of an update on exactly how many players this team has, and we hope kickoff is in about 5 minutes or so. But it's a very big point of this game and a big storyline coming into this game. But the Bearcats, they've got everybody as far as we know, and obviously Joey Ramirez is back as well. In terms of injuries, that was a big thing heading into last game, and why Columbus was able to get out to such a good start were some of the injuries for the Bearcats. So not necessarily injuries for the Panthers, but more of a lack of showing up when you talk about the Panthers. So this will be an interesting kind of storyline to watch throughout the game.
Yeah, taking a look to our right, the right of the 25. Not all the Bearcats are out on the field yet. We do know they are here. So just because there are only 9 Panthers out there warming up right now does not mean there are not more bodies in that locker room. But we touched on it during the start of our pregame coverage, John, and The Bearcats had some miscues in the game last week. We did talk about it much last season, where the team did have self-inflicted wounds, mostly in the form of penalties. But you mentioned some of the things that afflicted them last week. What are the areas you're looking for this Jersey Bearcats team to correct following the loss?
It's really two spots, right? And one on the offensive side of the ball and one on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, you had an injury at center, so you had another lineman playing center in that game, and there were a lot of kind of center to quarterback miscommunications, even throughout the game. It got fixed a little bit once you got into the second half, but I remember the Bearcats were down by 2 possessions, and they had an opportunity to go down the field and score and keep this a game, and ball went under Taylor Rodriguez, and it just ruined everything and kind of ruined their momentum because Columbus was able to take it back and score. So the center to quarterback relationship is something I'm really going to keep an eye out for today, because when they had a clean pocket, when they had a clean area to work with, and just something simple, they were really moving the ball, especially to Phil Meekiel. And defensively, there were injuries in the secondary and on the defensive line, but the secondary injuries, obviously, without Devontae LeGrand, that led to a lot of issues, and there were miscommunications with whether you had safety help over the top or not. That led to a lot of easy opportunities for Columbus to get the ball out quickly, and that led to touchdowns, and not even in the red zone. I mean, it was 2-play drives, 1-play drives, 3-play drives for Columbus. They were not matriculating the ball down the field, as we like to say. It was quick plays. They were getting the ball moving very quickly. So if they're able to get healthier defensively and kind of clean up what they were doing in terms of miscommunication, that will allow them to keep drives longer from the opponent's offense, from the Panther offense, keep things long on the offensive drives for them, not give up those big plays. And again, you have that high ceiling, so the deep ball is not as much of a factor in Warananko Sports Center. So defensively, it's miscommunication in the secondary. We'll see if safety help over the top is able to get cleaned up. And offensively, you got to snap the ball. If you don't snap the ball, you don't have a play. So that's kind of what you're looking for here. How is that center to quarterback relationship, and do you have a healthy offense in this game?
And speaking of the offense for the Bearcats, they have a bruiser in the offensive backfield in Nas Adams, and a lot of dynamic playmakers that we saw on full display for much of last season and in the early part of this season. This Jersey team is a team that does something that you mentioned, Columbus doing really well, and typically this Bearcats team, especially early in games, looks for that one quick strike big play. They capitalize on defensive breakdowns on the other side. You can't afford to have coverage breakdowns against this Jersey team, or they will find a way to make you pay. What are your expectations from this offense early in the game? Do you expect them to try and pound the rock, or do you expect them to try and hit that big play and really separate themselves early? Going ahead by multiple scores in the first quarter of this one could put the Panthers in the rearview mirror for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and we know that this team likes to take the ball first on kickoffs if they do end up winning the toss. They love taking the ball first. They want to just get off to a hot start on that first drive. I think on the first drive, they maybe will look on first down to kind of throw that deep ball to Meekiel and get something across the middle of the field, because that was working. When they're able to get routes across the middle of the field and make connections, they're able to get 20, 30-yard chunks and get pretty much all the way down the field if they're able to do that. So that's kind of the route that I'm watching on the outside, if they're able to get that to Simmons as well, if they're able to get things working. And also, I think there's more Panthers coming out, so I'll give you a tally shortly. But when it comes to this offense, I think, yes, you'll see a healthy load of Nas Adams. You'll see them run the rock. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets enough carries today. But in terms of what they're going to start out and try to do, definitely get out to that early lead. Definitely score quick and allow their defense to get another possession for them right back and force Tri-State into a tough spot and a tough way to be. Because this defense, what helped them against New Jersey was a really strong defensive line that was able to get to the quarterback quickly, was able to blow up plays, force second and long, make things difficult, force them to throw the football. It's really just about defense on first down in a lot of these areas, because, again, in arena football, there's no punting. So every team is playing to fourth down. It's like you're playing Madden. That's what makes this league so much fun sometimes. So that's kind of it. Defense on first down, I see that as well. But offensively, they're looking for that big play on first down. I think if they take the ball first and they get a decent field position, you'll see a ball over the middle of the field on a good throw.
And if you take a look up at the clock, it appears that we are about 1 minute away from the start of this game. So we are closing in on kickoff tonight, and as we get a bit closer, one final question for you, John, as you tally the Panthers, but you take a look over toward the Tri-State side of the 25, and you did mention Jersey looking to get healthy, getting a big piece back tonight in Joey Ramirez, but Is there any vulnerability in this team that you've seen that perhaps the Panthers could look to exploit, or was it just a case of a really good Lions team coming into the Waranenko Sports Center last week and executing a game plan that worked very well and helped them build that multiple score early lead that I just mentioned the Bearcats will be looking for here tonight?
Yeah, I've got 12 Panthers, so you have a little bit on this roster. Not everybody. There's 2 more Panthers coming out. So they've got actually a pretty decent-sized roster right now, so it's not as much of an issue. It's more just guys showed up a bit late for this game, and again, 20 seconds on that clock. But, I mean, I do think that's a really good Columbus team. That's a team that won a championship 2 years ago in an undefeated season. It's a phenomenal football team. On paper, they're the front runner. But they were able to take advantage of a banged-up Jersey Bearcats team that had issues in the secondary, that had a couple guys missing up front. Really, in all the positions that you don't want to have guys missing, they had guys missing. So they were able to take advantage of that. Again, I'm really keeping an eye on this secondary in this game if they're able to get that working. Not exactly sure how much Tri-State's able to move the football down the field in terms of the pass, but this secondary is the number 1 position unit that I'm looking out for today for the Jersey Bearcats. If you're able to kind of just make things difficult, make sure that the quarterback isn't able to get the ball out in 2 seconds and immediately just run very quick offense. Don't let them run that Big 12 offense where you get the ball out really quickly, you're able to get down the field. That's what I'm looking for in terms of a position group, the secondary. That's the big thing, and we'll see if Devontae Legrand ends up getting back out there. But if they have a full roster, if they have a full defense, this is a really good unit. You saw that in their first home game against New Jersey Eagles. That was a defensive game. The offense didn't have to do much at all in that one because they won field position so much defensively, made things easy. They were able to run the football. They were able to get Mateo Rodriguez kind of out there running with his legs and able to get in those open parts of the field. But the secondary, if Tri-State kind of gets things going early, if they're able to kind of get the pass going early in terms of breaking down this secondary, that's a big point for them if they're able to go out and do that. So we'll see exactly how the quarterback play looks today. If they go against good quarterback play and if the secondary still has some issues early on in this game, you can see Tri-State getting out to a couple scores.
All right, and it looks like Anthony, our public address announcer, is trying to get the microphone working. As soon as he does, it is time for the introduction of starting lineups. What we'll do is step off headset for about 30 seconds. Once introductions begin, we'll throw it down to field level and bring you that audio, and we'll find out with the rest of our audience what Bearcats will be in the lineup tonight. You would presume if they are introduced and in uniform, we should expect to see them play. That's coming up in just a few short moments here on the PDF Sports Network.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at Kessler-PT.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
The Jersey Bearcats are proud to welcome the sounds of DJ Sparks for the 2025 football season. As heard on Blazing 98.5 FM, DJ Sparks is perfect for nightclubs, concerts, corporate and sporting events. Bringing the party to you. The best sounds and the best time with DJ Sparks. Contact DJ Sparks on social media, email, or by phone, and let's get the party started. DJ Sparks, proud supporter of the Jersey Bearcats.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here, along with Joe Calv, wanted to do a podcast. Everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen?
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work with me, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
Refined, restorative, results-driven. At CMX iMed Bar, we blend medicine, aesthetics, and wellness into one luxury experience, led by Dr. Angela Roque. Located in the heart of Pier Village, Long Branch. Visit cmximedbar.com or text 9089-232-694 to look better, feel better, live elevated.
Zolnir Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL, the AAL2, and your Jersey Bearcats. Zolnir provides class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See the incredible selection and touch of class at Zolnir. Visit us at zchampionshiprings.com and see our competitive pricing. Give Director of Sales, Joseph Khalil, a call at 1-800-303-8548. Zolnir, official ring provider of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL.
Jersey Bearcats football is brought to you by Pino's Bakery. Located at 1027 Chestnut Street in Roselle, Pino's is your prime stop for specialty cakes, pastries, and deli delights. Always fresh and made to order, our family-owned shop prides itself on bringing our kitchen into your homes and your heart. Pino's is where family, tradition, and goodness are a daily thing. Visit us at 1027 Chestnut Street in Roselle or online at pinosbakery.net. Thank you to our friends at Pino's Bakery.
The PDF.
And we are back from the Waranenko Sports Arena where the Lady Bearcats will perform ahead of tonight's kickoff between the Jersey Bearcats and the Tri-State Panthers. Joe Foreman back with you alongside John McCooch. And John, Bearcats have their entire complement of players tonight, never much of a doubt about that, but a few more Panthers made their way out onto the field during our last commercial break, so at least eyeballing it, I know you counted before, it does appear they have enough for a full 7 on both sides of the ball, if I'm not mistaken. You're giving me the nod, so it looks like good news for Tri-State. And Dave, of course, letting me know 8 on both sides of the ball. It's been a long time, John. I haven't been here covering a game now since last year's AAL2 championship. It's good to be back. Plenty more to look forward to this season and the rest of the night. But we await this performance from the Lady Bearcats. They are trying to get the public address system to work properly. I don't know if it's just the microphone and the music or what the deal is right now, but we are at a standstill once again. This kickoff for tonight's game was scheduled for 6 p.m. We are closing in now on 6:25, 6:30. So once the Lady Bearcats perform, we get underway tonight. The microphone is still not cooperating.
Not cooperating. It's my least favorite word in the dictionary, Joe. Technology. It doesn't seem to work most of the time. That's kind of an issue. But eventually it will work. Eventually we'll get what we need to get, and you'll have football shortly here on the PDF Sports Network as we await the Lady Bearcats, and credit to them for staying in position during this entire time, because this is an interesting
Now,
wait.
I was wondering where I heard some audio coming from. We actually had our microphone on field level on. I could hear very lightly in my headset the conversations going on down on field level, so we've gotten that microphone removed from the equation. I was wondering what that was, and I was deeply perturbed.
I wasn't sure if my ears were just being weird or something, but I did hear that. I did hear that.
I was definitely hearing it, and hearing it a bit too well. So we've cut that microphone for now, but we'll see if Anthony goes with the vocal blast here rather than the microphone. He may just have to.
He's got it. He can do
definitely does. He works alongside me at the collegiate level over on Staten Island, and I know he can do it without a microphone, but the referees have now gotten in on the discussion and perhaps might get this game started. We'll see. I believe, are still awaiting the coin toss, unless they ran the coin toss during the break. If so, I didn't catch it, and it looks like we're going to proceed straight to the coin toss now. The music system is working. The microphone is not. So coin toss coming up. We'll see if we can eyeball it.
Yeah, I can yell from up here if they need me to. I can.
You know,
bellow.
I'll leave that to you, John. I hosted an award show last night, so I've gotten enough use of the vocal cords for 24 hours. But I wouldn't miss a Jersey Bearcats home game that does not conflict with a collegiate obligation. So I'm here, running on fumes, but very much here and looking forward to the start of this game. And they've had me looking forward to it now for an extra 24 minutes.
It's been a long wait, and they're thinking, you know what, Joe can wait just a little bit longer to get back to Bearcats football.
Let's see if we can eyeball the result of the coin toss here.
Yeah, the Lady Bearcats still in position.
They're ready to go. Yeah. Very much ready.
They're a great job. We got to talk to two of them last week as well about everything, and they do a fantastic job. So they deserve to get a proper introduction, of course.
No question about it. All right, so they're about to flip the coin. Have we ever been on the air in a situation like this during a Jersey Bearcats game where we got to take in the coin toss in what effectively becomes a silent arena? As I believe the Bearcats won the toss. And did they elect to receive? I would presume so. Dave says yes, they did. So
Panthers are going to kick.
Unsurprisingly, Jersey has elected to receive, and we know they love to do that, John. Set the tone early, oftentimes with a big play, but don't discount special teams either. They can take one back.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be receiving it on the right side, so they'll kick from right to left for the Panthers, and they definitely do. They have the players. I mean, we talked to Nick Price before about kick returns and special teams, and that's a big thing in this game. It's a big part of them, and seems like we'll get the Lady Bearcats and their performance at last, but special teams was huge last week as well. It was kind of the one bright spot of their team last week in the loss, so we'll see how they come out and perform.
All right, Lady Bearcats performing ahead of kickoff, and I'll tell you, John, the PA system's working loud
it is working.
And clear. Welcome to the jungle and welcome to Jersey Bearcats Arena Football here on the PDF Sports Network. Once again, for those just joining us or perhaps checking back in after a bit of a late start, we are getting underway in just a couple of minutes following this performance from the Lady Bearcats. It will be Jersey football to get us started. They will receive. And, of course, we mention it every time we call a game here, John. You mentioned it already. The low-hanging roof always plays a role for fans of the Panthers tuning in that have not seen it yet. The ceiling here at Waranenko is a low ceiling. It makes it very difficult to throw deep down the field in chunks. Teams have managed to do it, but it comes with a lot of reps in this building and a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball.
And it even factored into a wide-open deep ball. Last week they had an opportunity to get back in the game, and there was just a bit of hesitation for Rodriguez on the deep ball because of that low floor after a phenomenal performance by the Lady Bearcats. So it's interesting, and it's kind of the first thing you notice about this barn that now that I realize they call it that now. They call it barns, these arena football arenas. That's kind of the terminology that you use. But it's a very interesting point, and every barn has a very unique thing about it, and this is it. The low net, it's the net, too. The net kind of comes down a bit more than the roof itself because, again, you need the net in arena football. So, and also the walls kind of go into the glass. There's not the full walls, so some players have been able to kind of bear the glass and not have any worry about it, but it all depends on you and your willingness to put your body on the line. But it's going to be an interesting one, and this Waranenko Sports Center is always a fantastic time, and it's interesting.
Sorry, John. I have to admit, if you were speaking, I could not hear you over the music.
I could barely hear you, too, so this is...
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, then. But you mentioned the barn. That is this facility. There is a new facility being constructed next door. I did not get the scoop on what that building will be.
I have no scoop at all either, so we'll kind of find out as it ends up getting built when we come back, maybe next year, I guess, with how long construction takes. We'll find out what it is. I don't think it's a new sports center. I think the barn will still remain here, but I also don't know the city plans of Roselle's public infrastructure. So
I'm very curious. But it is Joey Ward deep to receive this kickoff for the Bearcats. Sending it his way now. I must preface, John, my roster is not in numerical order, and there are quite a few players without a number, but it will be Andre Green kicking off for the Panthers here. Once again, it is Ward back deep for Jersey. Will the ball make it to him? It grazes the roof. Ward fields on a bounce and takes it across the 20 and across the 25 as a whistle comes in. Now the ball hit the ceiling.
Yes.
Dead ball. It took some time for that whistle, but eventually it did come in.
It is a late whistle, and you called it, I think, before the refs did. You noticed it, that it hit the ceiling. And so an interesting way to start this game. It's a dangerous play to let that kick going, but if they're able to stop it, then let's go, let's roll. And the Bearcats get the ball close to the 20-yard line on their own side. So, like you mentioned, it was a very interesting point of, will they come out and throw the ball deep down the field to start things off, or are you getting the Bearcats trying to kind of ease into this offense and run the football? I think they're going to go for it in terms of throwing the ball down the field, especially with a depleted roster that you have on the other side against the Panthers. And looks like they have some smaller guys as well. The Bearcats are quite a big football team. So we'll see how they roll here on 1st down and 10 to start things off, finally, after this game gets underway.
Our first offensive play will come about 30 minutes following our scheduled kickoff of 6 p.m. Of course, it is Mateo Rodriguez who is in the offensive backfield under center. He has Nas Adams right up at the line of scrimmage with him. A very unique look here from the Bearcats. The motion man sent downfield. Rodriguez looking to throw, and he connects. Tiptoeing the sideline was Meikle, and Meikle was forced into the padding right around the 5.
And there's that throw across the middle of the field that you're kind of looking for. Just get across. You know that safety help's not going to come down and hit you. Meikle's done that a lot this season so far and starts out on 1st down with it.
Meikle in the left slot this time. Pre-snap motion by Todd Simmons as they hand off to Nas Adams. And Adams is brought down just short of the goal line at about the 2.
So we'll see how red zone offense kind of works out for the Bearcats. It's something they didn't create a ton of in the last week, so see how they're able to roll this close to the field, obviously, this close to the end zone. Obviously, you got Adams back there, and he's a big body.
Pre-snap motion from Simmons as they hand off to Adams once again, but he is swallowed up by Green and thrown down to the turf hard.
Yeah, it's just a great way for Green to come in. He blew up that play immediately. That guy watches film, I think so. So it's a good tackle. That backs up the Bearcats a good bit, so maybe that's what they need to create some more space, but not what the Bearcats want to see on 2nd down.
Loss of a yard on that play as Adams went down very hard, John, and he was a bit slow to get up. He heads to the bench now. In the offensive backfield behind Rodriguez now is Joey Ward off the bench to take the place of Adams. Meikle, the motion man, tossed to Ward, and he is in for a Bearcats touchdown.
Fresh legs on the field, Joey Ward, the New York Bear. Really good job and good blocking. I mean, it was not a ton of work for Ward. Didn't get touched on that play. Beautiful blocking, beautiful toss. That's something you watch in the film room right there. But great start for the Bearcats. Few plays, not a long drive, get things going, and that's a good way to start this game. That's why you take the ball if you're the Bearcats.
Previous play blown up in the backfield. The Bearcats respond with a toss to Ward for a walk-in touchdown. Jersey on the board first as the extra point snaps a bit high off the fingertips of Rodriguez, and diving on top of it was Hernandez Pais, and the extra point attempt does not come. Jersey will settle for a 6-0 lead.
Well, my worry in this game was the center to quarterback relationship. I forgot to factor in the long snapper to quarterback relationship with Rodriguez being the holder, but those plays will happen, and you still got the 6 points on the board. That's the big thing, but definitely want to clean that up if you're looking at it from a special team side of things.
Well, if you're Jersey, you have to be pleased with the result of that first drive. Quickly down the field, big completion to Meikle, and that's something you highlighted during the pregame, John, the ability to connect between Rodriguez and Meikle for chunk plays. It doesn't have to be the big play for a touchdown. It doesn't have to be over the top of the defense. Meikle can find space in front of the DBs, and especially on a crossing route like that one we saw to begin the drive, he was able to take a big chunk of yardage on that play. That sets up the opportunity at the 5. It didn't come easily, but the Bearcats do eventually find the end zone on the ground.
Yeah, that seems to be their money play, that crossing route for Meikle, and it's worked a ton. worked a ton last week, even though the scoreline wasn't what you wanted it to be. But that was really the one thing that kept working. And if they keep running that as their money play, and the thing that they could go to when they need a big play and they need chunks, it hasn't really been able to be stopped a ton so far. So really good start for the Bearcats, and I would definitely think that that's not the last time you're going to see a play like that, where he's just able to create one-on-one with Mikhail, and he's able to just kind of get a quick cut in, get the ball, get some big chunks, and he set up a good red zone opportunity.
Hernandez Pies will kick off here. Back deep is Jabrail Murray. That kick does not contact the roof, and it's over everybody. It is scooped up in the end zone, and once again, it is whistled dead. That ball did contact the end boards before it was scooped up.
Yeah, another later whistle, but
yeah,
it's interesting. Earlier than the last time, but I guess some guys still learning some of the rules here, as are we, obviously. But, I mean, we know. I was kind of waiting for that whistle on that play. It seemed like once it touches the boards, it's out of play, and it should be a touchback, which it now is. But it was a late whistle, and that's kind of a play, especially kick returns are plays that if they're going to be blown dead, you want them to be blown dead with guys running full speed at each other.
I was combing through my roster as well, John, to try and find a number 5. I did not have one. Keep in mind, a lot of players on this roster for the Panthers not assigned a number on their game day roster. Now, John, it does appear that they allowed the result of that play or off the end boards into the 5.
Intriguing.
That seems like a very strong incentive not to let the ball reach the end boards.
Yeah.
But that is where Tri-State will start.
So we get the first look at their offense, Joe.
Well, we do not have a number 17 on our roster either. And a flag comes out for a false start on the first offensive snap for the Panthers.
And we do not have a number 17 on our roster, like you mentioned, so we have the unnamed quarterback at this point. If at some point we can get names out there, but I mean, pre-snap penalties obviously are a big piece of your offense and a big key to what you're able to do. And one on first down and 10 in your first possession, that's going to drive a coach crazy. So we'll see if they're able to get things kind of rolling a bit smoothly. And this PA system, Joe, is quite loud. So we'll see if we can still hear each other throughout this game. It's going to be an interesting one.
There should be a way to crank that up a little bit higher, but we'll have to work on that. I know there's a dial that can make that a bit easier on the two of us. That penalty, half the distance to the goal, which makes it first and about 12 and a half. Once again, it's a shotgun look for Tri-State with pre-snap motion. And the throw goes over the middle into heavy traffic. Incomplete. 2 Bearcats there, along with the official.
Yeah, our official playing some defense tonight. But solid defense, lower throw, so you don't get the interference call on that one. And that's a defensive stare at already. Kind of forcing the Panthers into a tough position offensively, and got a long way to go.
I think the traffic probably worked to the advantage of the Bearcats there, and perhaps in a way even Tri-State in terms of preventing a potential interception. Once again, a shotgun look for the Panthers. It is now second down and 12 and a half. Once again, pre-snap motion to the left of the formation. And a pass attempt down the field is incomplete. That one a bit high, and fortunately so. Tyreek Noble was back, or excuse me, that's a 5, not a 6. And I do not have a 5.
Naeem Archer.
Thank you, John.
Was able to, I thought he was going to. Yep.
He's one of the extras there at the bottom.
Got some extras on this one, lower on the bottom of the roster.
He's not in the grid, but he's on the roster.
Right. That's all that matters, that he was able to get in position to make that play tougher. And Archer had a really good game against the Eagles. They don't believe he played last week, but Archer made some solid plays in the first home game. It was good to see him on the field out there just causing some chaos. And if he got up with that one hand and was able to get on that football, that would have been a highlight reel play. It would have gone viral for the Jersey Bearcats. So good start defensively for this team. And again, no punting, as we've mentioned a ton. And if you're watching this, you probably know that, but could be a really good piece of field position for this team if they're able to get a stop.
Archer certainly showing off his leaping ability on that last attempt. It's another throw on third down. Big time trouble and a safety for Bearcats in the offensive backfield. Put 2 on the board for Jersey. I believe it was number 58, Aziz Timms, who was first in there, but he had a lot of help.
Timms had some help from Ramirez, and it's good to see him back for this team. So 2 points for safety, and the Bearcats kind of get those extra points back. They went for the kick, weren't able to get it. Now they basically got that 2-point conversion, and they'll get the football after the safety. Huge defensive stand. They'll get the ball right back, and a ton of pressure, but we'll get the potato sack race before the Bearcats get the football right back, and we'll see that. But really good defensive stand on this line. This line is getting a ton of pressure so far in this game.
It's a great sign for Jersey early to apply that kind of pressure up front. You love to see it defensively, and following a score, it has to feel just a bit better. But we have reached our first media timeout of the first quarter, and with this timeout in the first, it's all about fitness. Our contestants are doing their thing, and it's sponsored by Infinite Athletic Training located in Piscataway, New Jersey. When it comes to athletic training, healthcare, rehabilitation, fitness, sports performance, return to play, and athlete recovery, Infinite Athletic Training's clinicians are the go-to providers for youth and adult athletes and those leading active lifestyles. IAT has been providing knowledgeable, compassionate, and patient-centered care to thousands of athletes over the last 20 years. Work one-on-one with them and let Infinite Athletic Training help unlock your performance potential or get you back in the game. Visit them at infiniteathletictraining.com or give them a call at 732-783-4973. Thank you to our friends at Infinite Athletic Training. Well, John, before our timeout, we were talking about the strong start for Jersey, of course. You go down the field, one big play in the air. It took 3 rush attempts down around the goal line, but that was enough to convert from the 5. On defense, you do perhaps the best job you can, forcing a safety on the game's opening drive for the Panthers, I should say, their first drive. Nonetheless, great start for Jersey on both sides of the ball. What are you looking for from them on this offensive possession, now leading by 8?
Yeah, it's about the perfect start that you want to see for this team, and defensively they did what they needed to do. They didn't allow really anything going down the field, and Tri-State wasn't able to run the football. They got behind the chains too much, and then offensively, like you mentioned, just really efficient offense and the ability to get across the ground over the middle of the field. And now you get the ball back, you're up by 8. It's exactly the perfect start that you wanted to see for this Bearcats team, and they look a lot more comfortable than they did last week.
We await a kickoff from the Panthers following that safety. Once again, Green will send it deep. Ward back for the Bearcats. The first kickoff for Tri-State, grazing the netting. That makes up a large portion of the ceiling. You have those braces across with the netting attached to those braces. They are adjusting the padding in front of the Tri-State bench. That is the brief delay here. Green's kick, this time low of the roof. Ward plays on one bounce once again. He has blocking. He's across the 25. Block set up well. He has a crease and is smothered into the padding that had just been adjusted moments ago. I'm sure he's grateful.
That's why he was just the pads right there. But I'm sure whoever set that up is probably a bit mad. Of course, the one spot you go to is the spot I just fixed. Come on. But that's a big-time blast. And it worked out, though, for the Bearcats. You'll take that hit if you're able to get field position the way that he's got it right now. And he's already past the 15, only 14 yards to go for this Bearcat offense. So really good return. And on special teams, they're getting blocks down the field early. They're really making things difficult. Tri-State on both kickoffs have not really been able to get past those blocks. They haven't gotten a gunner down. So really good work on special teams for this Bearcats offense to kick things off here in these first couple of kicks.
Jersey's last drive started on their own side of the 25. They are now inside of the Tri-State 15-yard line to begin drive number 2. It is a first down and 10 from the Panthers' 14. Once again, a very crowded line of scrimmage. Rodriguez under center, flanked by Adams, and he will look to throw. And that crossing route, once again, looked to be free, but it was tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete.
Yeah, you had Todd Simmons, and he had a really good game last week as well for Columbus. It was, again, tipped, but the play was open. It was another open opportunity. It was tipped at the line, so good job defensively up front. They got some big guys up there. But, again, that route is working, and it's going to be up to these safeties to make things happen and come down in time. And you know they're going to go for that kind of route, so we'll see if this Tri-State defense is going to be able to step up. I mean, this left side of the field is also pretty open right now. They're playing up with these linebackers.
Miko the motion man, and they toss to Adams. And he's brought down after getting about half, maybe a bit more than that, of what they needed for a first down. Jersey will have a third down and about 4 from inside the 10.
Yeah, they've had some good blocking outside on these toss plays as these big offensive linemen are able to push on the outside of the field and have to shift over. But Rodriguez also was falling down during that toss. He was able to kind of stay composed and get there, so good job by him. But that toss is kind of working right now for this Bearcats offense.
He's once again under center and will look to throw. He has time. Throws. End zone a bit high. That is incomplete. 2 receivers in the area. I believe Simmons was the intended target, but Sadiq Nathaniel was right there as well.
He was, and Nathaniel's a guy that you look for in short yardage situations, and it looks like the Bearcats will go for it. Won't take the field goal here this close to the end zone right here. They know they'll have good field position. If they don't get it, they'll force the Panthers into bad field position. But 4th down and a little bit coming up here.
Pre-snap motion man with Simmons. Rodriguez with plenty of time. Throws end zone too high. Miko was wide open, but there was coverage underneath, well underneath, and that forced a bit too much air under that pass, and it sailed into the glass.
Yeah, you kind of described it perfectly, right? Because that defense up front, that coverage forced Rodriguez to have to go over the top on that play, but you don't have enough space with that glass, and Mikil is only so tall, so it was a bit high for him and not the connection that you wanted to see. The play was wide open, but it was enough coverage to make Rodriguez's throw difficult, and that's what led to that 4th down stop for the Tri-State Panthers. Now they've got the ball. They're only down by 1 possession, and they're backed up, but they've got to get this offense rolling.
And that's a really big stop for the Panthers in more ways than one. Of course, it halts the momentum of Jersey, even if just for a short time, and it gives you the chance to run a play from outside of the shadow of your own end zone. You're still relatively close at the 7, but there's a big difference between the 7 or the 8 where they are right now and the 2.5 where they ran just about every play on that last drive. A false start at the 5-yard line began that possession. It backed them up 2.5. They never recovered and ultimately conceded the safety.
Yeah, now if you just can kind of get a couple first downs here, you can start to win the field position battle. And obviously you want to get into the end zone, but it starts with putting a good play together offensively. They didn't do that on their first possession. All
Once
right.
Again, pre-snap motion and no snap, which leads to a flag.
Yeah, it's an interesting point because for so many of these guys' careers, and some of these players have been playing arena ball for a long time, playing that CFL role where you have to have that receiver in motion can be something that you can run into issues like that with because it's not something you're used to your entire football career, especially as a quarterback. So it'll be interesting, but it's something that you see a couple errors for depending on which kind of arena football you're calling. And see if it works now.
Once again, pre-snap motion, and this time it's a designed quarterback run. And it goes for a nice gain. They lost 5 on the false start, and they pick up nearly 10 on the quarterback keeper.
That's one way to go about it when you try to get a first down and try to pick up some yardage. Still 3rd down and short for this Panthers offense. But, yeah, go for a design run, and showing off the legs early is the unnamed quarterback. So not a bad start. Early will go to first down, the 2nd down.
And when you have a defensive front that's looking to rush the passer, expecting a pass play, all you need to do as an offensive line is open up a small crease, and the quarterback with a good burst can escape the offensive backfield. And keep in mind, of course, fewer bodies out there in the arena game. If you get to the 2nd level running the football as a quarterback, oftentimes those go for very big plays.
Yeah, they do. And we saw it with New Jersey especially, and again with quarterback's legs. Rodriguez was able to get a lot going against New Jersey. We got a slight equipment issue as well, and it's like the quarterback for the Panthers will end up getting a new helmet. He had covering on it before, and now he will get a darker helmet now. So we do have an equipment issue that we're looking to get sorted out here for the Panthers.
There was a timeout that was called by Tri-State to address the equipment issue as well, so that is the reason for this delay here. I don't know if they got the microphone back online, but
nope,
they have not. Anthony is trying to make that announcement and having no luck, but it looks like we're about ready to go. The Panthers quarterback reemerging from the bench area, once again with a new helmet and a good observation. They have turned the fans on in here as well. It is rather humid, rather hot in this building. I think that insulation in the ceiling that makes up the covering for the facility is a big reason why.
Yes, I was talking to Dave about it before the game. I mean, when it just kind of traps in heat.
Yeah. This has to be a tough facility to play in for a team that's not accustomed to it, as the screen pass is completely blown up at the line of scrimmage. Archer got in there and almost had the ball land right in his lap.
Yeah, it was more towards Archer. Archer is having a solid game defensively so far, and you think just the Panthers want to at least get this first down here, try to go that short yardage route, but unable to make that connection. And right, it's going to take a bit for the fans also to get going and get the cool air back into the building and kind of push everything around. But I do agree, it's an interesting barn to play in. There's a lot of heat issues. You have the low ceiling. You have all these different things because you're half outside, half inside as well, but you're close enough to still be indoor football.
Shotgun look from the Panthers here on 3rd down and about 5. They will look to throw and will complete to the near side. It was bobbled up against the padding. I'm not sure that catch was completed. Let's see if they move the sticks at all. I think they're going to rule it incomplete.
Definitely think he caught that ball. By the time he got possession, he was already on the boardings and the wall, so will be out of bounds there. But incomplete pass, 4th down. So this Bearcats defense looking to get another stand here as this first quarter is almost winding down to a close.
Well, even if the Panthers do not get this, to really shorten this game and get to the end of one, with Jersey having possessed the ball just twice, is in itself a bit of a victory, especially considering you conceded just the one offensive score. Once again, pre-snap motion working out of the gun. This is a 4th down. It is a throw, and it is incomplete into the Jersey bench.
Yeah, just too high and weren't able to make that connection. So another stop for Jersey. Again, it will end up, unless if the Bearcats kind of score in this first play. Right now you've got an 8-0 lead. But the Panthers definitely had an opportunity to at least start winning the field position battle. They weren't able to do that. They got the ball a little bit more down the field, but it's still at about where Jersey started their last, exactly where Jersey started their last drive at that 14-yard line after they returned by Ward. So take 2 for Jersey.
Jersey beginning this drive right where they began the last one, at the Panthers' 14-yard line. Once again, Rodriguez under center. This time it is Ward close behind him. Meikle, the motion man. Rodriguez looks, crossing route, complete. And Meikle is shoved into the padding just short of the goal line. This will set up Jersey deep in Panthers territory as the clock is stopped with 0.8 remaining in the first quarter. Jersey has taken their first timeout, and we'll get one more play in quarter number 1.
So I guess Jersey will take a timeout, like you said, to just stop the clock and try to score before the expiration of the first quarter. I'm sure this play will go right towards the end zone. And we have a mic back, but it seems a mic is starting to work. Maybe the fans cooled things down, I don't know, but glad to have things working back again. We'll see if maybe they can lower the PA system next, but that's a separate issue. But back in the red zone for Jersey, and I might think that this ball might go to Ward. I also haven't seen Naz Adams after he took a tough hit into the boards. Haven't seen him on the field
You
yet.
could see it, John. He was affected by that hit. And they could have flagged that for unnecessary roughness as well. He got the old German suplex down to the turf. He was thrown down hard. Rodriguez will keep on the quarterback sneak and will take it in for the second Bearcats touchdown of the opening quarter. Not much resistance up front there.
Yeah. Saw them practicing that play before the game, actually. That not a tush push, but a back push. And they did that last week as well. They're able to score. It's a play that works. Rodriguez, a big body. You get another big body behind him, and things just work out. So solid setup, solid play, and Bearcats back on the board to end the first quarter. We'll get a PAT.
Hernandez Pie's back on for the PAT. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick. Jersey converts on their second point after touchdown attempt to make it a 15-point game, and that will send us to our break between the first and second quarters. First quarter in the books from the Waranenko Sports Arena. It is the Jersey Bearcats leading the Tri-State Panthers 15-0. We'll be back in just a minute. Second quarter about to get underway from the Waranenko Sports Arena. Joe Foreman back with you alongside John McCooch on the call. And John, Bearcats close out the first quarter with a second score, convert the PAT, and now lead it by 15. What's the sense of urgency for Tri-State entering this drive?
You got to get things going, right? I mean, they were able to pick up a first down. Well, they weren't able to pick up a first down. They got close, and that was on a designed quarterback play that almost kind of looked broken up a bit. It wasn't as clean as you maybe would have expected on their biggest play of the game so far, but they've got to get things rolling. I mean, they have to start getting those chunk plays down the field if they can. But if you can't do that, I haven't really seen them run the football at any point in this game. Not sure if they're running, their running back, their usual running back has shown up today. But they've got to start figuring things out quickly because, again, we saw this happen last week where it was about this same score, and all it takes is really one more miscue, one more bad possession to give up another touchdown. And once you get to that 3-score deficit, things get really tough. The golden football now in play as well. I obviously don't think they will take it on their first drive here in the second quarter, but once you're down by 14, you can take the golden ball, and that is worth double.
And that one is through the hands of the return man. This is big trouble, but it was touched first in the end zone, which is very fortunate for the Panthers.
Yeah, almost disaster. Could have led to free points or a free possession for the Jersey Bearcats, but it did end up bouncing out of bounds. We'll get a discussion about the specifics of that, but Tri-State, it seems that they will end up catching a break.
Did you think it was touched outside of the end zone?
I believe so. Looks like they'll start. Try to see where this ball ends up getting spotted.
They're going to spot it at the 5. They're going to rule that it was touched in the end zone.
Yeah. Ended up bouncing out of the end zone as well.
Yeah. I don't believe that I've seen a kick travel all the way to the back of the end zone covering Arena.
I haven't seen it the last few weeks.
I haven't seen it ever.
Yeah.
And we've seen it twice already in the first 15 minutes and 20 seconds of this game. And there is a very strong incentive not to let that happen because you start at the 5.
It's 45 yards to go, so it's a long way.
Yeah, but for me, against a pass rush like Jersey, I don't want to have to deal with that with my quarterback's heels in the end zone. Here comes that rush again. The ball out quickly, and the pass is complete for a short gain toward the far sideline. It looks like a gain of maybe 4 or 5 yards, so you'll take that.
And welcome back, Devontae LeGrand, though. A nice tackle, one that'll make it a little bit difficult to want to go across the middle of the field. So good tackle and good to see him back for this defense of the Jersey Bearcats.
That will bring up a second down and about 5. Panthers get set in the shotgun once again. Green in the offensive backfield alongside the quarterback. Once again, no number 17 on our game day roster. And the ball is snapped straight through the hands of number 17 and recovered in the end zone by the Bearcats. To it, I believe, was number 8. I almost said number 9. I know that's Nas Adams. It is Devontae LeGrand who scooped it up in the end zone. It was Nas Adams. It was 9.
The gut reaction was correct, number 9,
right.
Nas Adams. So welcome back, Nas Adams, to the lineup.
That's one way to re-enter the lineup, a touchdown on defense.
You'll take that, and snap issues can become apparent. Nice for Nas, nice to see him smiling, and after taking a big hit, gets on the defensive side of the football, and he didn't even have to fall on that football. It bounced right up to him, and he just was able to pick it up and score. But that's the miscue that you didn't want to see if you're Tri-State. Now you're going to be down by 3 possessions early in this contest.
As soon as they started that drive so deep in their own territory, John, you knew there was the risk of a safety. Instead, it is a miscue on the snap that directly leads to a Jersey touchdown. Nas Adams didn't get the chance to take it in on the offensive side of the ball to begin this game for Jersey. Was taken down hard and left the game momentarily. Back in on defense, and immediately he has a scoop and a score. Didn't have to take it very far, just got on top of it in the end zone.
And a 2-yard return for Adams.
That kick is wide of the upright, no good. Tough to tell if perhaps the Panthers got a piece of it, but the PAT no good, and that keeps it a 21-point lead for the Bearcats over 13 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Because of that safety, you wouldn't even tell that they're 1 for 3 on PATs right now. It's a nice, solid 21 points. They somehow got a combination of 3 7s on the board. But, yeah, definitely. I don't think that got tipped. I think it just kind of sailed a bit for Hernandez Pies and went offline. But this Bearcats team really looking a lot better and looking a lot more confident, comfortable after last week. And right now, this is the get-right game you want to see.
Panthers once again set to receive a kickoff. And when you received one a very short time ago, without any points being put on the board, that's always bad news. Jersey with the multi-score lead that we touched on during the pregame as well, John. And, you know, you and I spoke about it during the break between our pregame show and kickoff. I would not want to face this Jersey team this week after what happened last week. And the Bearcats, as we suspected, very much appear to be looking to make a statement early in this game, and they sure have.
Going against a team with pent-up frustration after last week, and that's the team that you don't want to see. An angry team looking to get back to form. Right now it's coming out against this team.
That kickoff off the fingertips of one of the up men, and immediately 4 Bearcats there to lay a big hit on him. Once again, we don't have a number 98 on our game day roster for the Panthers.
And a big tackle by Ward to kind of finish the job on that play there. Good job by him. Both teams hitting hard in this game. That's one thing to want to notice, that hitting hard is going to be a thing. It's a thing of the AAL. Teams hit hard in arena football, so we're seeing that. But you're also seeing guys that play offense, seeing running backs hit hard. Running backs play solid defense, whether that's on special teams or that's on the actual defensive side of the football. So both running backs getting involved in the hit game and the defense game in this game. But this Tri-State Panthers offense this is kind of the possession when you think about it in terms of this game. And obviously, there is no lead that's big enough in arena football. We have seen crazier things, just whether it's on the PDF Sports Network or whether it's just in the world of arena ball as you see it, whether that's the AIF or the Indoor Football League, anywhere big comebacks can happen. So things change, but when you get down to a big lead, you don't want to have a miracle comeback to win a game.
Best starting field position of the game for Tri-State. They're going deep, and they have a man open, but the pass is over the shoulder and off the fingertips of the intended target. No number 5 on our game roster, John, but he had a really big opportunity and just misjudged that ball on the way down.
Yeah, it seems like he wanted to kind of go more towards that back shoulder, try to get that ball more inside. Whether the receiver was expecting that ball more inside or whether he wanted it towards the back shoulder, we'll kind of be able to tell on our replay right here. But yeah, just ended up sailing that ball a bit too far to the outside. He wasn't expecting it there. He had the step on him, but that ball was kind of supposed to go more inside, I think, if you're looking at it from the receiver's perspective. Just wasn't able to make that connection, although you might want to go 2 hands for safety there.
That's one you got to have if you're the Panthers. It was a great ball. It appeared to be misjudged. And now they'll run another design quarterback keeper, and they'll pay for it along the near sideline. Ball carrier upended on the play after a short gain. Give him 3. That will bring up 3rd and 7.
Just trying to get those sticks moving at whatever point you can, especially after missing the money ball play. Just get a simple play to get things back rolling. You don't have to go right back towards a deep ball, but it's always tough to get things rolling again when you miss a big play, when you miss an opportunity to go and get 6 points and start out a drive. Your confidence gets a bit busted. Your confidence goes down just a tad, and everybody on that field needs to just get their confidence rolling back and not be deflated after a play like that. Nice next play mentality for this Tri-State team. Just pick up a few yards, make things easier for you, and you can set up a shorter play on this one.
Well, you know you have 2 downs to get it. You need 7. The Panthers have shown a willingness to run the football. I don't believe they've handed it off to a back yet, only quarterback keepers, and they will throw here. And it's another deep ball downfield, and it's caught over the outstretched arm of the Bearcats defensive back LeGrand and into the arms of the receiver in the end zone for the first Tri-State touchdown of the night.
Yeah, I just was able to get that ball over Devontae LeGrand. He got the size of that receiver right there. Again, we don't have 5 on the roster, but a beautiful throw by 17. Nice connection. LeGrand wasn't able to get up and jump and get to that football. What a really nice throw right there. They were able to get that done. Fired up.
Rightfully so. The recipient of that touchdown pass fired up. And there were some words directed toward the Bearcats bench, but with just over 10 minutes to go in this first half, the Panthers right back in this one, trailing 21-6. They're going to go for 2. And it's going to be a quarterback option, it appeared. Nothing doing. It looked like the quarterback had the option to keep it or throw for the end zone, and there was nothing.
Yeah, just weren't able to get anything going there. Just rolled out right, tried to maybe get past that defender. Wasn't able to get it done, but you still get 6 points on the board. You get yourself right back in this game, and you're not going to complain about getting in the end zone on a beautiful connection like that. So, but that's what we're looking for, right? This secondary for the Bearcats has been the question at this point. We'll see how healthy they are. Obviously, LeGrand is here, but he wasn't able to jump up and get to that football. So, see if he's kind of 100% out there. He did have a nice tackle. But this secondary, that's the question. That's the question with this Bearcats team from what I've been watching.
Jersey concedes the first Panthers points of the night, and they will get it back with right around 10 minutes to go before halftime. And you mentioned, John, a key for Jersey moving forward, especially when you look at those 3 league games in the last 4 weeks, getting healthy, both on the defensive line and in the secondary. LeGrand back in the lineup tonight, and that ball appeared to be just over his fingertips. I thought maybe he even got a piece of it. He was right there, and it was a great ball on the run as well. That should be noted. That throw came on the run, under duress, and you don't have much room to put that ball over LeGrand and low enough with that back wall and the backside of the end zone looming right behind your intended target. So that's a very impressive throw into some tight coverage, one-on-one down the field.
Yeah, LeGrand would have had to play perfect defense to get to that football. I just always expect LeGrand to play perfect defense.
That's a fair assumption, as that one's bobbled along the far sideline and scooped up just in time by Jersey. That was a very dangerous moment, as shoves are being exchanged and players will need to be separated as a flag comes out. So the officials will have the unenvious task of sorting this one out, but fortunately the players clear up the skirmish themselves.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that over the last couple of weeks, and extracurricular activities, frustration, whether that's from the Bearcats, and they've done a good job of cleaning that up. It seems like Tri-State may have started some of that, but I'm not sure exactly how that ended up rolling out. But I think we saw a flag go up, and we'll see how this goes, but I also do see the golden football out. I'm not sure if they're opting for that right now because there's 2 footballs on the field.
It's a personal foul called against the Bearcats, so they're sending the golden football back to the sideline. Now, Jersey cost themselves valuable yardage there. They back up into their own territory. They'll spot it at the 16.
So it's a personal foul on Jersey then, of course.
Yes.
Which is kind of one of the priorities.
I think they signaled 5.
Okay, so that'd be on Archer.
So Archer, the guilty party. Once again, Rodriguez lined up under center. As we've mentioned already, this is the first Bearcats game I've covered this season, John. I have not seen much of this in past seasons, as once again he connects with Meikle downfield. He stays on his feet, tiptoes the sideline, and takes it in for 6.
It's been working, though, Joe. It's been working. Getting Meikle open, getting him a lot of opportunities, and that's how you respond after giving up a touchdown defensively. But I will say, those last couple of weeks at home, we did not see them run really a ton under center. They just played a Columbus team that ran everything under center. They saw how well it worked. They're making some adjustments to get Rodriguez under center, and this is also how you avoid center to quarterback issues, right? Instead of having to snap the ball 5 yards back, just get it under center and make things happen, especially when you go against a team that isn't going to rush the football a ton, isn't going to get a decent pass rush against you, you hope, if you get your offensive line rolling. So under center, their debut of the under center offense this season, but it's working.
PAT attempt on the way. It's a good snap, a good hold, and a good point after touchdown. Jersey now back in front by 20 plus. The lead is 22 for the Bearcats. Our score 28-6, and that's one way to seize the momentum right back after conceding the touchdown.
Yeah, right now it seems that if you look, we're looking a bit forward, but if the Bearcats are able to keep this rolling, and Meikle's making an early pitch for player of the game on the offensive side of the ball especially, so really good game by him right now. It's a receiver that they're going to go to a ton, but right now that connection with him and Rodriguez is rolling and rolling and rolling. So I expect to see more of that in this game. There's still 8:34 left in the second quarter. You got 28 points on the board, but Tri-State, they do a good job of responding like they did on the last drive. They're still very much in this game. And I would even think about the golden football here.
Now, is that a decision you make largely based on field position, you think?
I believe so, yes. Because you choose to take it once the offensive drive starts. And again, it's when you're down by 14 in the second quarter and fourth quarter, you could take it twice during the game, obviously, but just once per quarter with that golden football rule. So I would say it's one you kind of base your field position off.
You also have to keep in mind how many more possessions will we have.
Yes.
Is there a better opportunity to be had later? Is there another opportunity to be had at all? So
right.
That's something to keep in mind.
Teams have started to see, it seems like teams want to use it on their last possession of that quarter. That seems to be where they kind of go for it. But in my lack of a football coaching career, I would take it earlier than that. But I'm, again, not a coach. I just call the games.
I think it comes down to, in my perspective, great field position.
Yeah.
And your best opportunity to score, as that kick will contact the roof. Now, the Bearcats, I don't believe, have contacted the roof on a kickoff yet. Does that make this the time to take it?
Maybe. This could be, and we'll see exactly where it works, where it rolls to, but I don't see anything golden glittering on the
I see it on the
field.
bench, though. You can look inside the glass there from our perspective and see that golden football resting on the ledge of the Panthers bench. So Tri-State takes over. Ball spotted at their own 20. They now trail 28-6, their largest deficit of this game. Previously, the largest Jersey lead was 21-0.
Yeah. And Joe, I watch a lot of football, a lot of unorthodox football, as you would kind of say, for lack of a better term. And I would say the golden football is probably the most interesting rule I've seen. We have 4-point field goals in the UFL, 3-point conversions, onside kick changes, but I have not seen a league implement a rule where you can get double points on a possession. So it's interesting, and I hope we see it in this game because it's a lot to break down. It's caused probably the most discussion that I've had out of a rule on a call like this, so it's interesting. But no golden football in Tri-State. We'll look to get this offense back rolling, but it's a big possession here again. They're going to be stuck in this kind of hole where every possession is so big for them.
Shotgun look and another pass. This time it's a short completion and a nice gain after the catch. And that gain is good enough for a first down. And, John, you have to think the deep ball that we saw on the last drive. First the incompletion, then the touchdown. That sets up the short stick route with good separation.
Yeah, for 5, I wish we had the name for him on the roster, but he's had a really good game so far, and those connections have started to work. And they're getting those chunk plays that they weren't able to get on those first couple of possessions where they weren't able to score. That's the big thing. So now that they're able to kind of get open, find these connections, it seems that they found a hole in this defense against these Bearcats in this secondary. See if the Bearcats can start to lock that down.
Once again, pre-snap motion and time running out. And the Bearcats are there. Another sack for Jersey as they continue to flex their muscle up front. Chris Rohn first to the quarterback.
Yeah, Rohn, and it looked like Tibbs as well, maybe getting in there on that play. But, I mean, that's the pass rush that you expect. That football does have to come out earlier. It didn't seem like he might have had an area to throw that football to, but if you get that football out, you don't lose as many yards, and you can get rid of it fairly easily, throw that ball in the dirt. But he thought he was going to be able to get out of there and wasn't able to do so. So that was Perot as well on that play, not Tibbs. But so Perot and him teaming up and getting that done.
We approach 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. And what was a first down is now a second and very long. Throw deep downfield once again. Contact and no flag.
He's looking for the call there, but I think
he could have found the football.
Yeah, I think if he kept running, he might have been able to get to this ball.
That was Kyle Ward on the coverage, and I'm with you, John. I think he's looking for a flag. If he kept with it, I think he finds the football in the end zone.
I think there's 6 points on the board for the Tri-State Panthers. That's interesting.
We saw it on the deep ball up the sideline. It was more of a back shoulder deep ball, and for a receiver, that's a tough play. It's a very awkward catch to make, especially when you're wedged near the boards. That ball landed in a similar spot on the back shoulder, a bit of an awkward turn to make that play, but I think the opportunity was there. I'm with you.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's third down.
It's third down and about 17. And once again, it's a throw downfield into the netting and incomplete.
This is when you start complaining about the arena you're playing in on the road right now because, again, he's going for that deep ball, and obviously a quarterback is not going to try to throw the ball deep into the netting like that. But you don't have as much space to work with in terms of getting a ball high, and it's something to adjust to. It's the first time we've really seen it come up strong in this game. But that's a missed opportunity for sure.
Well, it's fourth down and very long. And if Jersey gets the ball back in Tri-State territory, the next score could be the one that puts this game away. You have to throw downfield, and there's always the risk of that pass rush getting home very quickly. It's a near impossible spot to be in for an offense. We'll see what the Panthers can do. The Bearcats send 4. Time running out. The throw is well short of the first down and incomplete. 2 receivers in the area, but that ball found nothing but turf. And it appears there's an injured Panther down. And that looked like a potential non-contact injury, which is always really tough. And it looks like it could be a serious non-contact injury. So with that, it looks like we're going to have a timeout as well. So John and I will step off headset as they attend to the injured player, and let's hope it's nothing more than a cramp. When we come back, it is the Bearcats taking over with 4:18 to go in the first half. Jersey on top, 28-6.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
Joe Foreman and John McCooch back with you in the midst of a timeout, and I thought they were about to hit us with the extra loud setting on the PA system, John, but I'm trying to get a look at what timeout competition we're going to have. I thought they might be setting up to attempt a kick.
I think so. They've done this. They're going to try to throw it in.
They're going to try and throw it through the uprights.
Yeah.
I certainly can't kick it through.
I can't do either.
That is just a bit wide, right?
I might be able to throw the ball in there. It'd be a tough one. But with all
I think I could throw it through.
Yeah, I think so. But that was also Muck Williams on the injury. He's back to the bench. He was able to kind of hop off.
That one a bit short of the uprights. Let's see if we get one more attempt.
Yeah, we do.
Or is it first to put it through?
Go farther back.
Backing up.
I mean, she had the power.
Just a bit wide right on the first attempt, and that one's a bit short. Now, I have to admit, John, we've seen some of these timeout contests go on for quite a bit.
We have. It's been a thing.
It gets quite intense.
It does, and we need to see a ball. Oh, my goodness.
Whoa. Oh, just short. And that looked like a dime.
We got to get you out there, Joe. I think you get that.
I don't think my right shoulder can do that anymore, John. From the original spot, perhaps.
Right. Mine still works. I can figure it out, but you need some accuracy. So kind of in between both spots here. We got to see one go through. Let's get the crowd hyped. There you go. Come on.
Not quite the distance.
Just a bit outside.
They're going to try it again.
I guess they're in some kind of sudden death here.
Oh, that's good.
What?
We have a winner.
Yes. What a dime.
And I thought we might be down a football for a moment, but they're able to retrieve that.
Sadiq Nathaniel's been retrieving all those footballs. Guess he's had to volunteer. So there we go. We got a winner of the competition.
It might be T-shirt time, John. I think they're about to throw a T-shirt to the crowd.
Can we get one?
I don't have one yet, so
I
would happily take one.
I have one. We got them in the first game.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
It's a nice shirt. See if you can get to one. Nope, not coming towards you. Only one T-shirt that round. Usually it's more.
Were they all size XLs?
I think there were a couple larges in there.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah.
All right.
I know. I got myself an extra large. So
yeah, that's what I go with as well.
Yeah.
4:18 to go first half. When we pick up the action, it will be Jersey football at the Tri-State 24-yard line. So the Bearcats already leading by 22 points. We'll have a chance to perhaps put this game out of reach. And I think, John, if Jersey gets on the board here, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Tri-State to come back. They've put together just the one scoring drive, and that came in the form of a big play down the field. They've had more opportunities. They've yet to convert any of those. Simmons the motion man. Rodriguez throwing short, complete. Mikkel. He accelerates past the defense, up the center of the field, and into the end zone.
Just get him the ball and watch him go. Phil Mikkel Fantastic job as always. And yeah, once he got that cut inside that burst of speed, there's a flag on the field. It's coming back. Wait, no, it's
Offsetting
not.
personal fouls.
Okay. Touchdown.
Touchdown is the call. The touchdown anthem begins to play here at Waranenko as Jersey goes in front by 28 points. PAT attempt upcoming for the Bearcats, who have now broken this game wide open.
So yeah, one-play drive for the Bearcats, and just defensively, the Panthers didn't have the speed to get to Mikhail. It was a quick throw. It'll be the easiest yards of the career of Mateo Rodriguez here. But yeah, those 2 fouls will kind of cancel each other out, so we still have a touchdown. But nice connection. Big-time run. The Rack King, Phil Mikhail. That's how you do it. Simple play, simple score, and the Bearcats almost putting this one away here.
Whistle comes in as the Bearcats line up for the point after touchdown. Jersey had an errant snap, a miss wide, and 2 successful PATs thus far. This attempt number 5. And that is good. So Jersey goes in front by 29. It is the Bearcats 35 and the Panthers 6 with just over 4 minutes to go before halftime. And John, do you think it's late enough to consider this potential final possession territory? I'm not quite sure we're there yet, but it's a maybe.
Based on how quickly the Bearcats have been able to score, it's tough to say. But if you're the Tri-State Panthers and you take the Golden Football, that's probably what you think. You think that you may have this be your final possession, but if you do get it depends. It really depends how long the Panthers take on this drive. If they get stopped quickly, and the Bearcats can score quickly, and then there will still be another possession. But I think if you can ask the question, it's time to take the double points. But we'll see what the decision is. Obviously, field position is going to matter a ton on this kickoff, and this is a big point because if you can get that Golden Football, that touchdown, you also get double on the PAT if you do score. So if you can create enough points, you can create 16 points out of it. It could really turn into your favor. This becomes a football game again. Still a big gap to climb, but it becomes a football game. It becomes a manageable one.
Well, I see the 2 footballs side by side in the Panthers bench. The gold on the right, if you can spot it there, John.
Yeah.
And the standard football to the left. First, they will return this kickoff from about their own 10, and an attempt to reverse field is shut down quickly by the Bearcats.
So a tough piece of field position. Not the return that you want to see. And again, this Bearcat special teams has been a big factor in this game, and it's always the most underrated part of football, but it's become so noticeable right now. This special teams unit has done such a good job.
They're reaching for it, John.
Yeah, it was just about to mention. Take it.
It's that time. That could change this game very quickly.
Good. And I'd imagine if you do score, you would go for 2, because that'll be a 4-point conversion because it is double. Now, if you do score defensively, let's say the Bearcats take it back and they score, it is not double. It is just 6, which I think that should change, but that's just me.
I could get behind that change, I have to admit.
Yeah.
The high-risk, high-reward nature of that gold ball would be very interesting to watch play out.
And it will cause the defense to play more aggressively to try to score, which could lead to the offense score, because you want the offense to score if you're the league making that rule.
Yep. And that's going to be a flag for a false start, and it would have been a likely interception as well, given what we saw play out there. But the flag came in, the whistle was blown, and that play is dead.
I think that's the 3rd drive that we've seen a pre-snap penalty on the first play. So it seems that in terms of Tri-State, again, this is a young organization, a team that doesn't have as long of a history with each other that a team like the Bearcats have. It can be tough to kind of get that pre-snap stuff figured out when you haven't been playing for as long together, especially at this level. This is a brand new organization. Really were created last season. But those pre-snap penalties can really make things difficult, and you have taken the golden ball. You cannot give it back.
No takebacks.
No.
First down and long now. Pressure coming, and the pass is just a bit too high. There was a chance there for completion over the middle, but once again, a bit of a high pass over the outstretched arms of the intended target.
Yeah, just could have had that connection. You had two receivers in the area, just threw that ball a bit too high. And now already third down and long with the clock continuing to run, so it will likely be your last possession if things keep trending in this direction. But tough start to this drive. But again, if we've watched enough games, we know chunk plays are a big factor. And Tri-State has gotten a few of those already in this game, but they need one desperately in this moment right here.
It's a 2nd and 15 for the Panthers here. I almost did it, John, but we can let our audience know the Tri-State Warriors coming soon.
Yes.
To the PDF Sports Network, women's professional football. We'll talk more about that a bit later.
Got that next week.
On 2nd and 15, it's a throw. And it's a throw downfield, nearly intercepted through the hands of Naeem Archer.
It's time to do push-ups, Mr. Archer. We saw another corner do that as well. Do have a whistle, but just missed it. There's the push-ups. There we go.
Now, I did see push-ups after a successful interception on the dead ball.
Yes. Well, he did drop the football.
Oh, he did?
He dropped it. He dropped it.
Wow.
So he did the push-ups, even though the play didn't count.
I thought he ended up securing it.
No, he dropped it. Doesn't matter if it's a dead ball. These corners, these safeties, they will do push-ups. It's a nice football tradition. He gave us about 15 there. He was going.
Do you attack him on the next play now?
You kind of have to, right? You have no choice. You know that his arms are going to be a bit weak, but I don't think those push-ups are much of an issue for him. They would be for me, though.
1 minute to go, first half. Pressure on the way, and a throw on the move is picked off by Archer. He has blockers in front of him. He's across midfield, inside the 20, and brought down just shy of the Tri-State 15-yard line.
That's a guy that doesn't want to do any more push-ups. Naeem Archer, great positioning. Defensive line forces quarterback to go on the run. We've seen successful throws on the run by this quarterback already, but just not enough under this football to get that over the top. And a nice play by Archer and a great return. No push-ups for you, my friend. The gym will call for you later, but that's why you do them. You don't want to do them again? Get two hands on that football and secure it. Turnover for this squad, the Bearcats. With 50 seconds left in the second quarter, we'll look to add on to this 29-point lead.
Jersey with it officially at the Tri-State 18-yard line. Just over 50 seconds to go here in the first half. Once again, Rodriguez directly under center. Adams in the offensive backfield. Simmons the motion man. Rodriguez was looking his way. He has room to run, directing blockers ahead. And Nathaniel sets a good block on the outside as Rodriguez is forced out at the 5.
Rodriguez is such a tough guy to bring down with his size. He tried to run that defender over and got a couple extra yards, but nice direction by Rodriguez to get those blockers out in front. I believe it was Nathaniel that ended up getting us some extra yards there. So now this Bearcat offense still rolling under center, which I like a lot. They continue to move.
And once again, Rodriguez tripped up. He flips it to Adams, and Adams is ruled
touchdown.
Touchdown. I thought for a moment they may have had him stood up at the goal line, but the power of Naz Adams too much for the Panthers on that play. And Jersey now leads it by 35. They go in front 41-6.
The PAT pending, and they will go for dose on this one, it looks like. But a really nice run by Adams, able to push defenders over. The far side official was the one that ended up making the touchdown signal, not the near side. So that's what I was looking at first.
There was a half-hearted signal on the far side.
It was, yeah.
And then in the center, the back judge came in and made the definitive signal. And it's a direct snap to Adams that is fumbled forward, and the two-point try is no good. Now, on a play like that, fumbled forward, I would assume you can recover.
I believe so. Well, it's also not a fumble per se in the sense of where you can't recover because it's just more of a snap issue. He would have been able to recover, I believe.
Inside of, this is an NFL discussion more so, inside of 2 minutes, you fumbled the snap forward on a 4th down QB sneak. You never control the ball. It's fumbled forward and recover. Would they let that stand?
I believe so, but it's also a very rare thing to maybe see.
Very rare.
Would have to bounce. You'd have to snap it back, and then he'd have to bounce forward into the end zone.
Well, if it hits off the quarterback's hands and rolls forward, it doesn't have to be into the end zone.
Right.
It could be anywhere.
Right.
But I know you can't advance a fumble inside of 2 minutes, so I was wondering in my head, these are the hypotheticals I come up with, whether or not in the NFL such a play would stand. But
right. Things got very complicated after the Holy Roller, Joe. The entire league changed. It was a game with the Raiders. One of their tight ends just kept the ball rolling. He says it wasn't intentionally, but when you tap the ball forward a million times, we think we know what you were doing.
Well, we had, prior to you joining us, John, a defining moment in the early history of the PDF Sports Network with an illegally batted ball that was called by the officials an illegal forward pass.
Right.
So we had a player on defense following a fumble bat the ball forward to himself to get it away from the closing in offensive player. So the offensive player was about to recover. The defensive player sprinting in from, I believe, the DB spot, slapped the ball forward and then recovered it himself.
Right.
Potential for a lateral there by the Panthers, and they thought better of it. As with 15.8 to go before halftime, Tri-State will take over in their own territory. John, smile for the camera.
We gotta look nonchalant on the camera, you know. You gotta look like you're talking here, and Dave's gonna take a nice picture, and I might put that on the LinkedIn profile. You know what I mean? So,
all right,
you have to never look at the camera when you know the camera's on.
I have no social media. I now have a flip phone. We're moving back.
I did see that.
We're moving back to the early 2000s.
It's not a bad move by you.
You know, getting off the smartphone is really tough because there's things you take for granted, and then you realize I can't do that anymore.
But you just need to make some calls and make some texts. That's all you really need.
John, texting without a keyboard on my phone outside of the digits is really tough. Might have to swap this SIM card into an old smartphone that had a keyboard but wasn't an iPhone-level smartphone.
Right.
You find that middle ground, and
so you get the
you're
flip
a bit
phone.
Better off.
Yeah.
I have a flip phone with a keyboard.
With the keyboard.
The horizontal flip.
Like those old the Razors and the Blackberries and whatnot that mastered that.
I had the Verizon, I think chocolate it was called.
Oh, man.
That's an old school phone as once again a flag comes in for a false start.
I was still around for all that, and it was very interesting. But that used to be the phone. And things changed very quickly. And things have changed very quickly in this game. It's a 41-6 lead. It looks like we also, not sure if that was just for a play, but a new quarterback went in for Tri-State. Yeah,
I haven't gone to my roster in quite a bit, admittedly, but it's Muck Williams who is taking over at quarterback. We do have him on the roster, though he's not out there for a second play.
It looks like Stephon
Taylor. I think Williams took the previous snap.
I think it was also Taylor. Muck Williams was the player that got hurt before.
Oh, okay. But Taylor will throw it into no man's land, but I believe that was at the feet of Green, who is an eligible receiver. So with 10.6 to go, it's going to be 2nd down and 15 for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in when you're going against a defense like this and you're Taylor. And Taylor, kind of a shorter quarterback, especially compared to this tall Bearcat defense. And this defensive line's putting a ton of pressure on. They might start sending guys as well. But Taylor gets put into the game. And now we do have a name for the quarterback this time. We didn't have the name of the last one. So.
Admittedly, it makes our job a lot easier,
It does.
I have to say.
It does.
It's a good addition to the broadcast to know who's throwing the football. Taylor, though, looking to run this one. Running out of time now. Gets away from one tackler. Looked to cut up field and nearly fumbled it as he is wrestled down to end the first half. Did a timeout come in? I don't believe so. And indeed, we have reached halftime with the score. The Jersey Bearcats 41 and the Tri-State Panthers 6. We will take a break here, though I think Coach Roque may have been reaching for the headset, I thought, for a second. We had him.
Yes, we do got him.
It looks like we do. AJ is getting himself mic'd up. He'll join us in just a moment. Head coach AJ Roque, kind enough to join us. Coach, thanks for taking the time. Good half for the team. What are your takeaways from half number one? What did you like that you saw on both sides of the ball?
Just execution, right? That's what we came in here just wanting to execute today, right? Not really trying to get after our game, right, and get better at what we do today. That was the game plan. And right now it's, there's some things we miss and things that we can do better, but, it's more about execution right now than anything.
I mean, defensively, the intensity definitely a bit up. You guys look a lot more comfortable defensively. What's been the key to that in this game?
Just doing your job, right, staying in your lanes. Other than the one touchdown they had, right, we didn't get back in our zone. But other than that, like you said, the intensity, you're getting after it. That's what we're just trying to execute.
One last question, Coach. A lot of work under center tonight. What was your philosophy behind running so much quarterback looks under center?
Just switch it up, right? Make guys, everybody uncomfortable, right? That's what you got to do when you come out and you're trying to get better, right? Get uncomfortable, right, to be comfortable. And that's all we're trying to do.
All right, thank you, Coach, and best of luck in the second half.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Head coach AJ Roque, kind enough to join us as we head to our halftime break. Our score, the Bearcats 41 and the Panthers 6. When we come back, half number two from the Waranenko Sports Arena, Bearcats up big.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at Kessler-PT.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
The Jersey Bearcats are proud to welcome the sounds of DJ Sparks for the 2025 football season. As heard on Blazing 98.5 FM, DJ Sparks is perfect for nightclubs, concerts, corporate and sporting events. Bringing the party to you. The best sounds and the best time with DJ Sparks. Contact DJ Sparks on social media, email, or by phone, and let's get the party started. DJ Sparks, proud supporter of the Jersey Bearcats.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here, along with Joe Calv, wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen?
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
Refined, restorative, results-driven. At CMX iMed Bar, we blend medicine, aesthetics, and wellness into one luxury experience, led by Dr. Angela Roque. Located in the heart of Pier Village, Long Branch. Visit cmximedbar.com or text 9089-232-694 to look better, feel better, live elevated.
Zollner Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL, the AAL2, and your Jersey Bearcats. Zollner provides class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See the incredible selection and touch of class at Zollner. Visit us at zchampionshiprings.com and see our competitive pricing. Give Director of Sales, Joseph Khalil, a call at 1-800-303-8548. Zollner, official ring provider of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL.
It is halftime here at the Waranenko Sports Arena, which means it is time for our Lady Bearcats Spotlight. Michaela Balfour and Taylor Anderson kind enough to join us. They are sharing a headset, so right now Michaela has the headset. Both of you, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to join us here on the PDF Sports Network. Prior to the game tonight, a bit of a standstill. We had a music issue, a public address issue, but the Lady Bearcats always ready. What kind of preparation goes into those pregame routines, and how did the delay affect you out there?
Well, to be honest, because we do prep in our rehearsals, the delay didn't affect us at all. In our rehearsals, we do practice if the music skips, if the music stops, we keep going. If there is a delay, we practice all of that in our Thursdays and Sundays rehearsals.
All right, then kind of how did you get into dance? How did you get into the Bearcats? And kind of what's your background in this?
Well, I got into dance because of my lovely mother, who's off to the side here. She put me in dance classes at a very young age, and I just kept it going. I sought out dance in everything that I did growing up, and I decided to go to school for it. So I currently hold a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Dance Science, and I'm currently getting my Master's in Dance Movement Therapy.
That's awesome, Michaela. Pass that headset over to Taylor. Taylor Anderson on headset with us now, and we saw coming into the arena a lot of signage and a lot of ways you can interact with the Lady Bearcats here on game day and online via social media. What are some of the ways that fans can find out more about the Lady Bearcats and interact with you here at Waranenko?
They can follow us on Instagram at CMXINext. We post a lot, and we also have the fan activities here at the field in between each quarter and sometimes at halftime.
And then you guys do a lot of things for the community, right? I remember last week there was a big thing in the morning and all the events that happened here. How important, how great is it for you guys to be able to do things outside of the field here?
Yes, it's so wonderful to get to volunteer with the team because as we are a dance team, we're also a sisterhood, and just to give back to the community with my sisters is such a blessing. And we feed at homeless shelters, and we do all kinds of things. We go to the children's hospital, and it's just so incredible.
That's great stuff, and I'm glad you got the chance to share that here on PDF. Both of you, Taylor, Michaela, thank you for joining us and giving us your time, and best of luck in everything the Lady Bearcats get involved in down the line.
Thank you so much.
That is our Lady Bearcats Spotlight. Taylor Anderson and Michaela Balfour kind enough to join us, and with that, we will send it to another break as we get prepared for the start of the second half here at the Waranenko Sports Arena. Our score at halftime, the Bearcats 41 and the Panthers 6.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Kessler Rehabilitation Center are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at Kessler-PT.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
Zollner Championship Rings is the official ring provider of the AAL, the AAL2, and your Jersey Bearcats. Zollner provides class with excellence and is the perfect way to showcase perfection on the field of play. See the incredible selection and touch of class at Zollner. Visit us at zchampionshiprings.com and see our competitive pricing. Give Director of Sales, Joseph Khalil, a call at 1-800-303-8548. Zollner, official ring provider of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here, along with Joe Calv, wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen?
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work with me, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right path.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
The PDF
Joe Foreman and John McCooch back with you as we get set to begin the second half here at the Waranenko Sports Arena. First, we have a performance from the Lady Bearcats, fresh off of our Lady Bearcats spotlight during the halftime break. But John, big half for the Bearcats, plenty to like. Head coach A.J. Roque seemed a bit reserved in his praise of what his team did in that first half, but I think by all accounts it certainly went pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be reserved, right? Because, well, there's still a second half of football to play. So you don't want to kind of get ahead of yourself too early. You don't want to let the Tri-State Panthers back in this game because especially we talk about a road trip coming up for this team. You know, eventually at some point where they're going to have to go to Columbus. They already went to Wheeling, so they'll play Wheeling. But they've got some big games coming up after this, and we'll get into that, I'm sure, at some point in this broadcast. But, yeah, a lot to like defensively. The intensity's a bit up. And I honestly want to see it up a bit more, too, and obviously they do, too, because that's the big thing, right? They blew out New Jersey and the Eagles, and they still said the intensity needs to get up defensively. So we'll see if that kind of comes true in the second half. But a lot to like offensively. They're getting crossing routes over the middle of the field with Meek Hill, and he's, again, making an early contention for our player of the game here. But offensively, this team's rolling. Defensively, this team's rolling. There's not a ton to not like. I'm sure you still want to play with a bit more fire, but there's a lot to like about that first half. It's all about finishing the job here in half number 2 in these final 30 minutes of football here in Roselle.
And if you're the Panthers, what's the mindset entering the second half? You're down big, 35 points. We have seen at times in the second half of lopsided games, the clock runs. I don't know if that will be the case. It certainly wouldn't be to start the half, no. And I'm not sure it would be in any case with the Golden Football in play as well. So if you're the Panthers, you need to find a way to execute. You get the ball to begin the third quarter. What needs to happen on this first drive of the second half for them to get on the board in a meaningful way to try and chip away at this lead? It's a huge, steep climb back. Unlikely that they're able to make up 35 points, but you can definitely make this score a lot closer, and you never really know. If you're within striking distance in the fourth quarter, that gold football comes into play, and perhaps they make something happen there. But starting with drive number 1, what do they need to execute to get on the board for a second time?
I think at this point, because of how much you're down, you need a big play. You need an early score. You need to score quickly. You can't have a long drive that kills a ton of time, because if you get a long drive and you get things down to even 10 or 9 minutes and then you just score, it's tough because you're not going to hold the Bearcats to only 41 points in this game. They put up 41 points on you in the first half. You're going to have to score quickly, which is a big aspect of why you have a shorter field in arena football. You can get quick points, you can get quick scores, but that's what has to happen. They have to score quick and early on these drives if they want a chance, and really, you have to take this third quarter and put yourself in a position to take that golden football and make it a game. That's kind of what you have to do. You have to bridge the gap a little bit to make that 16 points worth it and make that, get down by 3 possessions. You score 16 points or however many you end up scoring and make it a game.
That kickoff somehow does not contact the ceiling, straight to the arms of the return man. And Jersey makes the tackle shy of the Tri-State 15. A bit of extracurriculars following that return, but nothing major. No flags, and the Panthers will take over at their own 14.
Yeah, you get an extra push there, but that'll happen. And it's also good to see the extracurriculars turn down a good bit for this team. But that's kind of a big aspect that you look for, right? Turn the extracurriculars down, stay locked in, stay functioning, make sure things keep rolling well. But that's going to be a factor. Our headset also fell down, and thanks to the guys on the sideline for putting it back together, I will say, putting it back in its spot. You wouldn't even notice, but I did. But it's all good.
We've been doing this a long time. Year 4 of Jersey Bearcats Arena football here on PDF. Players who have been here for much of that time, and of course Coach Roque, very familiar with the positioning of our headset.
Yeah,
getting that situated back where it belongs.
It's year 1 for me, for you guys, for the Bearcats. Didn't do any of the last couple years, so it's good to be here.
It is a first down handoff to begin the drive for Tri-State, and a flag comes out near the line of scrimmage. That will be a hold against the Panthers. So what looked to be a nice gain on first down instead will turn into a holding penalty, and they'll back up.
That's 4 drives in this game where the first play of the drive is held back by penalty. And now we have some extra flags as well. Let's get a personal foul of the offense as well.
So a penalty like that in a situation that the Panthers find themselves in, trailing by the big deficit, that could be a backbreaker, because the way things have gone, it's hard to imagine working your way out of what's going to be a 1st and 20.
Well, if your goal is to just go get a big play, I mean, it doesn't matter how much you're backed up at some point, but You just can't have that happen if you want a chance to come back in this game. And the holding call is a holding call, but if you get extra penalties on top of that, now you're backed up. It's at your 3 and an inch yard line at this point. It is a tough hill to climb.
Well, what I will say, John, is from this spot on the field, if your objective is hit the deep ball, I don't think there's a better spot on the field to try and throw deep from.
Yeah. A lot of space to work with.
Yeah, you have the ceiling's inclination going upward from here.
That too.
And I don't think you would hit the ceiling sloping downward trying to throw a deep ball from the spot on the field.
Right, if you want to throw a deep ball at like the 20-yard line where you're in the middle of the field, that's where it can get tough.
Exactly. That's where you really have a hard time keeping it below the ceiling. But it's going to be a quarterback keeper and just nowhere for the ball carrier to go on that play. The Bearcats there to make the tackle. And I don't think that play went for anything. They'll actually move them back about a half a yard.
Yeah, there's definitely yards lost on that play, but Timms got in there and blew that thing up immediately. So really good job for the Bearcats defense. Interesting, that play worked before. That was really their biggest play, was that designed quarterback run. That almost worked a little bit, almost got them a first down, didn't get them quite there, but that play that time did not work out for the Panthers.
Tri-State set up now at about their own 3. And this has been dangerous territory for them all night. The Bearcats' defensive front has been in the offensive backfield plenty. We've seen a safety. We've seen runs for losses. We've seen sacks. And now another chance for this Jersey defense to put more points on the board. Don't forget about that fumble recovery in the end zone as well.
Yeah, this is a spot this defense loves to be in, and they love to cause havoc when you get to that, inside the 5 for their opponents.
It is a throw, and it is a throw under pressure that falls incomplete. Don't believe I have a number 11 on my roster. There is Nick Price.
Yes. Price, number 11. We got to talk to him before the game, and it's a big piece of intensity. This defense loves to kind of get things going, and they're looking to make things difficult. But third down and forever from your own 3-yard line, really. Not the place you wanted to start when you're down as much as you are. But still 2 downs to work with. I would be a bit surprised if this defense doesn't try to send guys here, though. Try to cause some chaos. Maybe send 4.
Third very long. And it's a handoff to Green. Green finds a hole, breaks a tackle, trucks another man, and is tackled at the original line of scrimmage where this drive began, the Tri-State 14. That makes it 4th down and a bit more manageable. The Panthers will undoubtedly go.
And you got to go for it. This 14-yard line seems to be the spot. I feel like Bearcats have had a few drives start at this exact spot of the field because of their defense and because of what they've been able to do, and it's a stop at the 14-yard line. So this is familiar territory for both teams, familiar situation for both of these squads, but offensively this is a point where the Panthers need to kind of make a break and break through at this point of the game. It's tough.
You're at the point now, John, where you have to have it. Over 5 minutes have come off the clock. The deficit is 35, and possessions will be few moving forward as they will look to throw. A flag comes out. This might be a free play. It's a heave downfield, and it's an open man and completion. Touchdown Panthers if it stands. The flag may have been for 2 men in motion, John, rather than a free play, and that is indeed the case.
Yeah.
2 men in motion, and illegal motion is the call.
Wow.
And that touchdown is erased.
It's a great throw, falling backwards. But yeah, 2 receivers were in motion on that play, and I mean, that is just heartbreaking for you as a team. You get a deep ball, you get a great opportunity, and you find a way to just get that big play that you're looking for down the field, and it was such a tough throw. Now, obviously, that could be why you had that single coverage and an opportunity there, but that is a tough one to deal with. No call. It'll actually be offsetting penalties because they called pass interference on the defense on that play.
Well, the line of scrimmage was the 14 at one point. Now they backed them up for what I would presume was that penalty. Yeah, they backed them up 5, so they enforced that penalty and did not enforce pass interference.
Right, because I guess the illegal motion is a pre-snap penalty.
Well, they let them play it out.
Yeah.
Which was a bit unusual. It's a 4th down throw up coming, and it is complete, but well short of the first down marker. Catch made at the Tri-State 19-yard line, but that's about 5 yards short of a first down.
At that point, the positive out of that is it backs up the Bearcats just a little bit field position-wise, but they still have fantastic field position, and you don't get the first down. So now the Bearcats, if it wasn't the dagger already in the first half, this is a big dagger opportunity here in the third quarter to get some more points on the board and kind of take the life out of this Tri-State team and these Panthers.
Jersey once again will start in plus territory. They've moved the ball up a yard further than it was originally spotted. If the original spot was the Tri-State 19, Jersey will start at the Panthers' 18-yard line. Once again, Rodriguez under center, trying to find some time. He circles back toward the far side and throws it straight into the glass.
Ends up working out. Kind of a throwaway there by Rodriguez, and a decent job to have to spin all the way back around. Obviously, it's not what you want to have your quarterback have to do to get rid of the football, and it can end up leading to a long sack, but Rodriguez has the speed to still get that football away, kind of on the move, and just gets rid of it, reset for second down.
2nd and 10, Jersey with it at the 18. We are inside of 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. We should have our media timeout coming up shortly. 3-snap motion man Nathaniel, quick throw over the middle is complete. And that is about 2 yards short of a first down on the reception by Manny Stewart.
Yeah, very close. This Bearcats offense continues to move, but nice job by Stewart to find the gap in the defense. Pitch and catch for Rodriguez, and the Bearcats will keep things moving. They love to run quick offense. We haven't seen it a ton, but now we see it again.
3rd and short. Rodriguez rolling left, has room, and he will coast toward the goal line and spin in for a touchdown.
Rodriguez gets his legs back going. We saw him get in the end zone a few times for the first home game, and now Rodriguez had wide open spaces to get back in the end zone. And nice run for Rodriguez, and this offense continues to keep things moving in this second half.
When you have a dual threat quarterback, it makes offense so much easier for the play caller and for every player out there on the field. When you give receivers more time to get open and give your playmakers a chance with the coverage breaking down as you extend the play, you can make so many things happen as a quarterback. And if the coverage doesn't break down, you do what Rodriguez did and take it in for 6. PAT on the way, and that is no good. So we were informed, John, that Hernandez-Paez is the correct pronunciation, and there is an incorrect spelling on the roster.
It happens.
It does happen.
But yes, so we'll make that correction.
But Hernandez-Paez with the PAT attempt. He's now 3 for 5 with 1 fail on a snap.
Sounds about right, but
I think that's accurate, and they went for 2 once.
Right.
So 5 PAT attempts, 1 2-point try, and a media timeout.
And musical chairs for you.
These games of musical chairs get intense, John.
They do.
But before we begin our game of musical chairs, we'll let you know that with this break in the quarter, this timeout is sponsored by CMXI Med Bar in Long Branch. You've seen their commercials. Located in the heart of Long Branch, CMXI Med Bar is a luxury medical wellness destination designed to help you recharge, recover, and perform at your best, offering services like IV hydration therapy, vitamin injections, and advanced recovery treatments in a relaxed, spa-like setting. Led by Dr. Angela Roque, CMXI blends clinical expertise with a modern wellness experience, catering to athletes, busy professionals, and anyone looking to boost energy, enhance recovery, and support overall health with personalized, medically guided care. Visit them at cmximedbar.com or call 908-923-2694. Thank you to our friends at CMXI, and we're right on time for the start of musical chairs. And
Michaela's out.
Unfortunately for Michaela, she is the first eliminated.
We're slowly learning the names.
She tried to dispute it, but to no avail.
I know. So we've as our interviews continue, we continue to learn the names of the Lady Bearcats. So we're starting to kind of build their spotting board.
You'll have to help me. Oh, we have a bit of a contentious situation here, and a willing elimination.
So I believe that's Gianna that stays on.
A Justin Jefferson impression, perhaps?
I think we're getting a couple gritties out here.
Yeah. John, I have to say, and this is completely random, I've never danced in my life.
Never? Not once?
I don't think so.
Not even like the middle school dance for you? No dancing?
You couldn't pay me to go to that.
Wow.
No. John, I didn't walk at high school graduation.
Okay. You're one of these guys. I know.
I'm too cool for school.
You are. But not too cool for the PDS Sports Network.
If you have to tell people you're too cool, you're probably not.
Would you be too cool for musical chairs, though?
Yeah.
Wow.
What I'd call the commissioner of the No Fun League.
Never danced. I think you'll have a dancing era later on.
Okay.
I think you'll kind of
a dancing era.
Yes. You'll be like you'll go to a dance hall when you're 60, and then you'll say, you know what, I was missing something.
Final two.
See you, Gianna.
Now, what is an acceptable pause over the seat in musical chairs?
None.
There is none.
I don't accept.
You
now,
don't
in terms of the actual rules and regulations of the Musical Chairs Federation that I'm definitely a part of, I think it's still somewhat legal, but it's unwritten. Don't do it.
What's more important, the rule book or the unwritten rules?
I'd say the unwritten rules of musical chairs for sure. Big time.
Now, what about the sprint?
Oh, someone! Wow. Lost the handle on the chair. Take advantage of the missed opportunity.
Yeah, we need those chairs anchored to the turf. We got to get
No, you can't anchor the chairs. It's half the fun. That the chairs can move down and move around, and bad things could happen. Let's get you a T-shirt, Joe.
We need to keep our participants safe.
No, I know, but it seems everyone got out safe today.
Looks like it.
But yeah, the Musical Chair Federation is a very serious organization.
Okay. Maybe that's what they're building next door, the Musical Chairs Hall.
Might be it.
Might be. It could be a dance hall.
Could be, and you'll go.
Perhaps not.
Are we getting a replay? There we go. Lost the handle on it.
There was a hand on the backside of
that chair.
No! Dave says that's a DQ.
Do we get challenges? How many? We have to write. That's going to be a league-changing play right there to allow challenges, coaches' challenges in the musical chair game.
We need a red flag to lob across the front of the camera next time.
Wow.
That would be great. We could toss it right across the lens.
It's like, hey, they got an instant replay down there as well.
They do.
Wow, that is awful rule book regulation right there.
It's a shame that Anthony's microphone was malfunctioning. He could have given us the play-by-play.
Could have. Oh, man. Hate to see it. Can't put your hand on the chair.
No.
That's what caused the missed seat.
A bit of an assist from the palm. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Panthers return this kick across their own 15 as a flag flies. And we'll see where they end up after they sort this one out.
Yeah. And are you a fan of laterals on kickoffs, Joe? I'm not as huge on it.
Do I think it's a good play?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Right.
Am I a fan of it? Absolutely.
Well, I'm a fan of it. Yes.
I figured.
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching it.
Yes.
If it causes anything that can cause chaos, I enjoy in the game of football.
We are agents of chaos.
Absolutely. It's kind of our job here, but it led to a penalty, and we didn't see the exact call, but it ended up backing up Tri-State, and kind of another reason that, from a coaching perspective, I guess, if you want to say, special teams, though we have a big special teams committee for the Bearcats, it can lead to things going awry. It can lead to holding penalties. It can lead to, missed blocks if you have to deal with the lateral. It's a tough play to execute properly. When it works, obviously it works fantastic, but it can lead to those penalties, and you see one right there.
I think in the arena game, there is hardly enough room to reverse field for that. I think when you get the special teams unit on the other side, the kick coverage team over pursuing to one side, that's when you can really take advantage with the lateral. It's hard to get that with the narrow confines in the arena game.
It's tough.
There are fewer bodies out on the field, though. Handoff to Green on first down, goes nowhere. Bearcats blow that one up in the backfield. Chris Rohn first in on the tackle.
Yeah, just aggression, intensity, even with a huge lead. 41-point lead right now for the Bearcats. Still intense on the defensive line. These guys do love to see the stats after the game and see their tackle numbers go up and everything. So not sure if Dave tracks TFLs, which would be a great stat. But you get one right there.
It's going to be a second down and about 13. Clock running inside of 6 minutes here in the third quarter. Big lead for the Bearcats.
It's exactly what they wanted today, Joe.
Back to the starter at quarterback as well for the Panthers. Don't believe we noted that on the first drive of the third quarter, but they made a quick quarterback change late in the first half. It was short-lived. Once again, pre-snap motion, a high snap, and pressure coming. It's another heave downfield that is intercepted. Chance for a run back here, and it's a good one that goes for either 6 or a big gain, and it is ruled a touchdown all the way at the end of the field. Now, that official was not the closest to Wembley on the run back. I thought maybe he was forced into the padding. The officials say no. It is 6 more on the board for Jersey coming on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he ended up getting into the padding, but right, at the end of the day, it is a touchdown. So the defense gets on the board. They've gotten on the board with the safety. Now they get on the board with the interception return for a touchdown here. And again, when you talk about everything you want to see from the Bearcats today at a game where they want to get right, nice catch by the official. My goodness, I think we saw that. Just made a one-handed snag. Anyway.
That definitely got in the frame.
Yeah. That was great, but everything you want to see this Bearcat team do when it came to getting right, when it came to getting back into their game right now against this Tri-State team. Huge, huge performance.
PAT on the way. And that is good. A perfect kick off the foot of Hernandez-Paez. The lead for Jersey grows, and once again the Bearcats score on defense. 2 defensive touchdowns tonight and a safety. The offense, I believe by my count, has only been stopped once.
Sounds right. That was Jaquin Wembley who ended up returning that interception for a touchdown. But yeah, this offense has been quite efficient. They haven't really run into a ton of issues, and there was that stop initially. This game was 8-0 after Tri-State got a stop. And then that offensive drive did not go their way. So Tri-State had an opportunity to tie this game early after getting a stop, and then things kind of just got out of hand after that. And now 54 on the board for Jersey and these Bearcats. But now they'll have to kick it right back again after they scored a defensive touchdown. So Tri-State, after giving up 6 on the defensive side for the Bearcats, they gave up a touchdown to the defense. But they have to get right back out there and get things going. It's gotten a lot cooler in this arena, Joe.
It sure has, I can tell you that for sure. Yeah. The sun has set over Roselle, New Jersey. 5:10 to go in the third quarter of this Week 5 matchup between the Bearcats and Panthers. And once again, the return man for Tri-State is stacked up just shy of the 15.
Yeah, another really good piece of special teams for the Bearcats. They've done a great job all day. I'm sure you'll love to see a lot of what they're able to do on the special team side here in this game. And Tri-State's been an issue for them, right? Field position has not been a big strong suit for them in this game. They haven't had a ton of good looks. They haven't really had a drive start past the 20-yard line. Even this at the 15, it's one of their better starting field positions. We'll see if they can even kind of get things back the way they want to get.
Clock is running here as we approach 4 minutes to go in the third. And for the Panthers, their success on offense has really come down to their receiver winning in the one-on-one jump ball situation against the Bearcats defensive backs. Beyond that, there hasn't been any sustained drives where they've been able to methodically march the ball up the field. It's been the big play that has allowed them to find the end zone once here tonight and given them a couple more chances for touchdowns on deep throws, but thought for a moment we had an official timeout, and indeed we did, to adjust the padding. So inside of 4 minutes to go, third quarter, and the Panthers take over at their own 15. Once again, pre-snap motion out of the slot as Green takes the handoff, and that's a good job to keep Green in his grasp by Chris Roan. He's been involved in a lot of plays behind the line tonight.
Yeah, back-to-back drives with a tackle for loss for him. He's had a really nice day. Nice piece of this defense they love to see get in there and start to make an impact. This defensive line, I mean, they're starting to put a lot of good things together. You had Ramirez come in and do a lot of good work, and Timms has been solid. They have a lot of big bodies and great players. And it's good also to see Price kind of get in from a linebacker spot. He's also been applying some pressure. So been a lot of pressure in this game for the Bearcats. It's been a big part of what they've been able to do defensively.
Inside of 3 minutes to go now in the third, and they will hand off again. Green tries to bounce outside and does not make it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's nice speed by him as well. I mean, this obviously you don't expect a lot of speed for the big fellas, but you got some speed right there. Good work.
Something I always have an eye on when it comes to backs, especially bigger backs, is how quick are they on their feet when it comes to making that first cut. Because a lot of the time you get these big bruisers, they're downhill runners, but when it comes to making that quick jump cut off the handoff or to find that hole behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes that's an area where they're lacking. When you have big backs with quick feet that can make that quick jump cut and then accelerate upfield quickly, those are the big backs who really do some damage in the ground game. And Green showing off some good footwork there for a big guy.
Yeah, he's had a decent bit of good footwork for him today. That's why he's kicking. We got timeout here too, but he's kicking, so clearly he's got some decent footwork. But yeah, I mean, if you're watching film on guys and you try to see big backs that can move, obviously Derrick Henry comes to mind. You get, if you want to shout out a giant, Brandon Jacobs had a couple of good moments as well for him, but he would just kind of run guys over most of the time because he was just so much better at that. But there's a lot of big backs that have been able to make things happen, that have been able to, just be able to make that good first cut. So you got a nice cut by Green there.
The clock is stopped at 1:47 remaining in the third quarter. It's going to be a third down and 10 for the Panthers. And we really haven't seen much out of the passing game outside of the deep ball and the occasional stick route. It's been either the short curl comeback or the deep ball. And I think a big part of that has been the pass rush for Jersey up front. They've been so good at collapsing the line of scrimmage, forcing the rollout. And a lot of the time, once your quarterback is flushed out of the pocket, those short, quick passes off the table, and it becomes scramble drill. Find an opening downfield. So credit to the Bearcats' defensive front. If there was a more methodical game plan, the Panthers have been forced out of it. And they will run play action here and are once again intercepted. It is a one-handed snag. He made it look easy. Sadiq Nathaniel along the sideline able to grab that one.
Yeah, just another throw. I mean, you talked about having to throw on the move. He had to throw on the move there, kind of falling back. Really nice job to just go out and get that football. And it was a one-handed interception. He did make it look easy, but it was lofted right to him, too. It's an awry throw. Get a bit of extracurriculars there at the end, but we're all good now. But, yeah, really nice throw. A really nice catch on the interception by Nathaniel. And quick turnover. So the Bearcats got a chance to put up 60 in this game.
I say the same thing whenever it comes to my performance in athletic activity, which is very limited these days, but we dabble in some pickup basketball. Whenever we make a good play, I say we need to act like we've been there before, and I'll tell you.
He did.
Nathaniel sure acted like he'd been there before, completely nonchalant about it. One-hand snag, forced into the glass, flipped the ball to his bench. Right back out there at wide receiver. He's working along the near side. Rodriguez will flush to his right, and he completes short to Simmons. And he's brought down right around the Panthers' 20. He was driven back quickly. We'll see if they give him the 20-yard line. And indeed they will.
A player down on the field as well.
Player down along the far sideline. I see you digging through that roster, John. Any luck?
Hoping for some luck. Hoping he's all right. Don't see a 21 on here, unfortunately, but he's able to get up to a seat, able to sit up, but yeah, we don't have that on the roster, unfortunately, but we hope he's all right.
The clock stopped at 1:06 to go here in the third quarter as they attend to the injured player who is beginning to work his way back toward the Tri-State sideline. It's going to be a second down and a long 4, maybe a short 5 for the Bearcats. Looking to add to their lead, as you said, John, a chance here to make it to 60. Do you think there's any thought about the point total surrendered last week when it comes to point total tonight?
Yes, I think so. I think if anything, you want to even match that point total just to kind of show, okay, we can put up this amount of points. Obviously, we let up this amount of points, but those kind of games happen in arena football, and you want to be able to repeat what your opponent did.
And that pass off target behind Simmons on the short in route. That'll bring up third down. And perhaps one final play to wrap up the third quarter.
Simmons jawing a bit after a late push on that play. And all this is going to do is just expire more time before the potential final play of this quarter.
Words were being exchanged there, but nothing comes of it, fortunately. Final seconds, third quarter. Rodriguez back to throw. He has blocking, he has Simmons, and he has another touchdown. Simmons found an opening in the middle of the end zone, and no Panther was able to close the gap and get there. The Bearcats now approaching the 60-point mark up on that scoreboard. They are there. 1 point at a time they put it up, John.
Yeah, man. Simmons, he doesn't start anything, he just finishes it. Did that right there, right after having a bit of chatter. 60 points on the board, big touchdown for him. 60-6, 54-point lead, but nice play, nice way to get behind the defense, and good job. Simmons has been a nice receiver, nice addition to the Bearcats squad, and made some big plays the last couple weeks, and there's one right there to get this up to 60.
Hernandez-Paez back on for the extra point attempt as we are left with 2.7 to go here in the third quarter. I believe that was partially blocked.
I think so.
Yeah, I think given where that ball ended up, fingertips made contact. 3 for 6 now on PATs, if memory serves correctly.
Sounds about right.
We need a statistician whose job it is to hand track all of our statistics. That's a big ask.
It's a big ask. It's a big ask, and I'm not sure how much you could pay that guy either.
We only hire the best, John.
For sure, for sure. That's why,
someone can figure it out.
All of us are here.
I know it won't be me, so I'm more than comfortable asking.
I'd be terrible at that job, so if anybody, would be good at it.
All right, so John is taking his name out of the running as well.
I mean, I'd do anything, but I don't know if I could promise elite performance.
To be fair, John, I have scored, commentated, and provided public address for a game at the same time.
Yeah.
But the public address work was recorded. It was pre-recorded.
Okay. Oh, that has to be baseball or softball.
It was baseball.
Recorded introductions for players, and
pre-recorded introductions.
You know what? I do score when I do a baseball game or softball game. I do score it as I go along.
Well, you do the handwritten scorecard.
I bring the scorebook out. Yeah.
I was doing the official NCAA stats.
Right.
But I have done the scorebook as well.
I feel it's a must, in my opinion.
I know you'll be with us at the New York State. I believe it's the 10U softball and baseball championship on Staten Island, as that kickoff was received deep in Panthers territory as we have what appears to be a flare set off outside the arena.
I guess so.
Well, the area has now been illuminated.
Yes. Bring in the chopper.
Bonfire outside?
Maybe.
That's the end of the third quarter. Maybe they thought they were celebrating a Bearcats win. They're 15 minutes early, John. We have one more quarter to go.
Still more football to play. Still Lady Bearcat performances to see. Still a lot of ball, but this is a big game for the Bearcats, and so far, a huge lead. 54 points on the lead. I mean, this is just a great performance. This is exactly what we want to see. I guess I don't know what that flare could have been.
I think it was a premature victory celebration.
I think so.
They heard the horn and said, time to celebrate.
Yeah.
But they're 15 minutes early. We'll step off headset for a minute. The Lady Bearcats will perform, and we'll be right back for the fourth quarter. Joe Foreman and John McCooch back with you from the Waranenko Sports Arena, where the Bearcats lead it big, 60-6. Jersey on top of Tri-State. Bearcats have gotten the job done on both sides of the ball tonight. They've scored multiple times on defense, 3 times in fact, a couple of touchdowns and a safety. And they put plenty more on the board on the offensive side. Big plays through the air, dynamic plays on the ground. They haven't had that one big run yet in this game. The biggest belongs to quarterback Mateo Rodriguez. That went for 6 as well. Panthers with a 1st and 10, once again deep in their own territory. And it will be a first down throw over the middle that is nearly picked off. Tariq Pusey right there. John, might we get some push-ups?
You have to at some point. I mean, that's kind of how it worked for Archer. It doesn't look like Pusey's going to get on the ground there, but yeah, right in his hands, right in the breadbasket, and could have made that play interception. That could have been 6 as well. But that will happen, and that's what. There he goes. There we go.
With the knuckles.
Yeah. Those are tougher. Give me 10. That'll do. It looked like he had to get reminded to do those push-ups.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're out there as a defensive back and you had to get your push-ups in between plays, you're not going to let it slide.
No.
If
Kyle
one of your
Ward.
teammates forgets.
Kyle Ward who said, hey, you got push-ups to do, man. Let's go. So last time we had push-ups, got rewarded with an interception right after.
The very next play.
Yeah.
And it is a throw. A throw downfield and close coverage there. No chance for a completion. Airtight play in the defensive backfield by Jacqueline Wembley.
Yeah, kept it away from Pusey to try to, he knows what happened last time. He went after the guy who dropped the interception. Gonna make that mistake again. So we'll see how they handle it in terms of continuing the clock to run when some of the other situations. But right now the clock obviously running as the usual rules state. But Tri-State, they're an AAL2 team, and they're a team that wasn't underestimated, obviously, because the Bearcats came out and went on the full-fledged performance. But AAL2 is very competitive, and it's good to see kind of the full AAL-2 situation back this year with everybody, and it's good football in the AAL2.
3rd and 10. I think if there's any positive to be taken away from the last couple of plays for the Panthers, their pass protection is held up, and they may need it again here. It's a high snap, and a lot of pressure incoming, but a completion to the far side will set up a 3rd down and a bit more manageable. It's going to be 4th and 5. I think I said 3rd and a bit more manageable. It is 4th down.
Right. And this quarterback has made a nice couple of solid throws and one that was called back. It could have been another touchdown earlier in this game, but he's made some good throws and it just hasn't led to a lot of offense. Problem is he's had to make a lot of these good throws to keep the offense moving. And his pass protection, like you mentioned, has been solid, has been fine. Just the ball has taken a while to come out of the hands of this quarterback, and that has to do with not getting enough separation on the receiving end. It has to do with a lot of things, and Tri-State will learn a lot from this game, playing tougher competition. But this offense, love to see things click more, especially in this 4th quarter.
This very well could be the last gasp for the Panthers. Still just under 12 minutes to go, but this throw comes wobbling out of the hand of the quarterback. No chance for a completion there. And it will be a turnover on down, setting up Jersey deep in Tri-State territory.
See, now the Bearcats, again, you get opportunity. And now it's just about matching the point total that they gave up last week at this point, I think. I don't know if they're necessarily going for it, but it's definitely something to kind of keep an eye on and watch out for.
I'm not sure they'll need a coordinated effort to go for it if they continue to force turnovers and turnovers on downs deep in Panthers territory. We've seen quite a few short fields tonight. You don't get to 60 points without a defensive score here and there in a short field.
Right. Yeah, the defense has set up a lot of these drives. That's what you want. That's what you expect out of this defense, and that's what's worked for them a lot this season. But it's really coming out strong here today for the Bearcats.
And that one's through the hands of Ward. He does recover it and avoids a host of tacklers. He has a chance to get in, and he does! What a run! After the initial fumble, Joey Ward scoops the ball back up, reverses field, and beats 3 Panthers to the far sideline and up the field. But there is a flag down, John. I almost missed it. Far side at about the 5. So hold on a moment.
We'll see. It was a tough play. It looks like it's on the defense.
Offsetting personal fouls.
Yeah.
It is a touchdown, an impressive one for Joey Ward.
Some really funny stuff from Simmons. It looks like someone else is trying to talk to him, and he just kept pointing towards the scoreboard about 3 different ways, different poses, posing for the camera. And, I mean, he's right. It's 66-6. It's surprising that there'd be talk from really either side. You don't want to talk when you're up by that much. You don't want to talk when you're down by that much. So.
Touchdown does indeed count. The flag came for offsetting personal fouls following the conclusion of the play. And now, John, with about 10.5 to go, I think we're approaching that time where we have to decide who our player of the game is going to be.
I think so. It's a big decision. I think offensively you can make your best assumption. It's pretty obvious, but defensively, that's a contest still.
Well, what side of the ball do you go? Have we been taking 2 players?
That's what we did the one win. There's been one home win.
Okay.
2 games, two games. So did one offensive, one defensive. Last time it was Meekhill and LeGrand. And obviously you get to hear from Coach Roquet. 66 looking to make it 67.
Yeah, we need that score on the board to change very quickly, John.
We do.
We need this PAT.
We need it. Need it bad for the kids out there.
We don't need any more 6 to 66.
Oh, we don't need that either.
That's what I'm talking about, John. That's what I was talking about. What were you talking about?
I was talking about the funny number.
But how does the PAT change that?
It would make it 67.
Okay.
We don't want this. We need someone to score.
We don't want this.
Well, good thing there's a 4 in between it.
Yeah, not on our scoreboard.
No.
There's a Bearcats logo and text between it. That red flare was an ominous warning.
It might have been. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe. Imagine a Super Bowl box with the winning numbers 6 and 6. Probably the 2 worst numbers you could get.
It's bad. It's bad.
Real bad.
You need either 4 field goals or 2 missed PAT touchdowns or something else weird that can happen.
Would you rather have 6 and 6 or 2 and what's also
2 and 9?
Bad? 2 and 9 is not very good. I think 8 is worse.
8's pretty bad.
I have 28 though. You could get 28.
8's good for the fourth quarter.
True.
Not good for the first quarter, from what I've seen. I do Super Bowl boxes every year. I have not won a single box.
I've never been much of a box guy when it comes to the Super Bowl, but every year when I was a kid, my father would have an office Super Bowl box where everyone would pool in, and we would always have a score to root for.
Right.
That kickoff did contact the netting on the ceiling. Clock running at 10.5 minutes to go. Panthers take over at their own 20.
I mean, what a win for the Bearcats. I mean, obviously, again, the Zeros have not hit the clock, and they're still trying to finish the job. But we talked about getting right. We talked about not letting an opponent that is in a lower league, obviously exhibitions, it still count for overall standings, not for AAL standings, but every game matters. And this game clearly mattered a ton to the Bearcats. So it's good to see a good performance out of them. And it's good to see a team have resilience after a tough loss. They come right back. They just do what they need to do. They execute everything in all facets of the game. It's been a solid performance.
Well, in the open, we mentioned that the Bearcats would be hoping for a bounce-back effort, and that was for good reason. And I think they've delivered, and then some, here tonight. The big question down the stretch of the season is, how will they perform in their 3 league games? Those are going to be big ones. It's a first down handoff. Green met by 4 Bearcats once again. There's been no ground to be gained in the running game for the Panthers tonight.
A lot of tackles for loss, a lot of nice defensive work, and again, this is the Bearcats defense that you expected and wanted heading into this season, and one that you hoped came out better against Wheeling, against Columbus, and now they have, after this, they've got opportunities to kind of get right and get back at those 2 teams, and they obviously have to play Mississippi as well, but yeah, those 3 league games are going to be huge for this team and their season, and again, like I mentioned kind of in the pregame, it's a big factor to head in. The big thing they're looking for is that second spot, right? Columbus has emerged as a really top contender, and in terms of you have to get to 2 before you get to 1. So Wheeling's kind of the team to watch right now, and we'll see how they play.
And if I'm not mistaken, John, the best running play of the game for both teams has come from the quarterback position.
Yes. So hasn't been a ton of. I don't think they've had a positive handoff. Has Tri-State. And obviously with the Rodriguez touchdown, but there was.
They had one, but I think it might have been called back.
Right. I can't put one to memory.
I think your assessment might be right. No positive plays on the ground thus far. 8:21 to go, and John and I desperately craving points.
Yes. Big fan of points here. Big for the brand,
Yeah, the 6-6-6 is not working for me.
Not at all. Not at all.
When the action resumes, it will be a second down and about 13.
72 total points at this game. Usually in arena, you expect that to kind of be 30 and 20 something by either side, but it's been a 66-6 game.
Pre-snap motion once again on second down, and a throw deep downfield into the netting. And, John, we talk about it all the time, but we circle back to some topics more than once in a lengthy game with 72 points. It has to be incredibly frustrating as a visiting quarterback to come in here and have your passes hitting the ceiling.
Especially when you play, and I haven't seen the arena that Tri-State plays in, but I'd have to imagine, based on the way he's been throwing the football, that you don't have this issue, that you don't have this lower ceiling. It's tough to deal with, and because you practice all week one way on one field in one arena, and then you come here, you have to change your entire arm angle and change the entire way you throw the football. It's a tough adjustment to make, and a lot of teams opt for shorter routes. A lot of teams don't opt to kind of throw the ball down the field. So it changes a lot of your philosophy and your mentality, the way you go and attack this defense. And just the way you play quarterback, it changes everything, and it's tough to adjust to that over just 4 quarters.
Short, quick throw over the middle is complete, and I said it earlier, John, that's something that has been missing for much of this game for Tri-State. It's easier said than done to throw over the middle against this Bearcats defense, but they haven't had many short, easy completions, quick throws where they get the ball out of their quarterback's hands quickly.
Yeah, that's big to just set up offense, right? It's big to set up the run when you can to run outside. When you're able to throw the ball over the middle of the field, you're able to run the football because they have to focus on that medium range play that you worry about, that you are able to establish. And Tri-State hasn't really been able to do that. So just for the way that they run their offense, the way they set things up, it's good to see them kind of figure that play out.
Another 4th down. It's 4th and 8. And another throw downfield. Jump ball intercepted. Archer comes down with it. The defensive back is challenged. Archer up to the task.
Hobbling just a bit, but yeah, he's going down on the field, but a nice interception for him. That's his 2nd interception as he gets his way back to the bench, but there's a guy that wants a player of the game pitch. That's how you do it. You get 2 picks.
It was Wembley with the pick 6, correct?
Yes. He did come up a bit gimpy on that play, so he works his way back to the bench, and hope he's all good. But
hopefully he's feeling a bit better in time for a potential interview.
Yeah, because if you get 2 picks, I mean, that's a way to do it. That's how Devontae LeGrand got on the headset. He had 2 interceptions in that game. One of them he did run back for a touchdown. That's how you get there. That's how you get on the headset for the PDF Sports Network.
So who do you have on the offensive side?
I think we have to go with Philip Meekiel. He had such a fantastic first half. I lost track of how many touchdowns he's got at this point, but he's gotten to the end zone plenty. So that's my pick. I don't know about yours, and obviously Rodriguez is always going to be a candidate in a game like this.
Speaking of Rodriguez, he will throw, he will complete, and he has another touchdown. He's making his case, John. A rushing touchdown and several more through the air.
I think he might have just heard me and said, you know what, John, I need to get on the headset. I need to talk to you and Joe. I have to, because nice throw, and Manny Stewart's able to get in the end zone. Nice job. I mean, if we're talking a Super Bowl MVP type of qualification, that's who you would pick. You would pick Rodriguez in this moment. But nice connection, nice play for Stewart. Able to just get in the end zone and get past his secondary. So 72 points are on the board for the Jersey Bearcats, and we have broken up the bad number.
I appreciate that touchdown very much.
Yes.
Now, if you spoke to Meekiel already, I'd say
so.
We speak to Rodriguez tonight.
I'm with that.
PAT upcoming. Hernandez Paez off the hold from Rodriguez, and the PAT is good. 1 score away from surpassing that number from last week.
Yeah. Touchdown would get you to 79 before the PAT.
And enough time to do it.
Yeah, we thought the New Jersey Eagles game was lopsided for the Bearcats, but this one, extra lopsided this time.
For Jersey 73 and Tri-State 6. And it shouldn't be lost in the score, John, as it might be my time to get a T-shirt.
It's your time, Joe. Get the hand up. Oh, they're not coming near us at all.
The bench is clamoring for T-shirts.
Hey, wait, that's not how this works.
They have gear.
What? Oh, come on.
What is this?
What?
Every T-shirt went to the Bearcats bench.
Bearcats, give me one. They're fighting for it like we would. Oh, he's giving it away. He's giving it away, but give it away to the families. But
what size are those shirts?
I don't know. Todd, let me get a shirt.
Yeah. You can be player of the game for a T-shirt.
Right. That's a fair trade.
I'd make that trade. That's a nice shirt. That says Bearcat Nation. I like that.
That's a great shirt. I don't have that shirt.
I have one Bearcat shirt from our first season.
Yeah. I have one from the first week, Autism Awareness Night. It was a great night. And nice blue T-shirt. You got the pattern on it. It's a really nice shirt. It's one thing the Bearcats do. A lot of good merch.
Way to rub it in, John.
I just wanted to advertise the great night that we had. You know? It was a great game.
I showed up a bit too late.
I guess so.
I took in the first half, and then it was time for WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. I mean, it's been WrestleMania defensively for the Bearcats. They've been a lot of tackles for losses, a lot of big plays, and I mean, they've just been out physical against this tri-state team. Yeah, Todd Simmons just has a shirt on his head like a towel. I mean, I think you would
depending on how much of a sweat he's broken here in the second half,
I think
I may have to decline.
I was going to say, I think you should say no to that shirt.
I may have to decline the trade, yeah. Panthers football, no run back on that last kickoff. They will bring it out to the 15-yard line. So I would think it might be the 20. They'll bring it back to the 15. So that's where that ball went out approximately.
I think obviously this defense, this whole team is thinking, hey, let's get to 80. If you're the defense, I think you want to be the side of the ball that ends up putting up that 8 on the scoreboard. You would put up the 79th point, but I think that's what that might be what they're thinking right now is let's get this up.
Well, they've had no issues scoring on the defensive side tonight. Now, initially, John, I thought they were spotting the ball at the 15. They were spotting the first down line to gain at the 15.
Right.
So once again, the Panthers will start at the 5. And a big opportunity here for more points on defense, something we've seen now 3 times tonight. Very nearly a 4th on that last interception.
Right.
Not much room between Archer and the sideline.
Yeah, if he got another block, made another push, he might have been able to get there. But
now, John, you might be able to help me out. If we have him on, I want to pronounce his first name correctly. Is it Naeem? Or
yes.
Is it, okay. That's what I would have said, but on the off chance it was pronounced as it was spelled.
Right.
Did not want to have that hiccup as that deep ball falls incomplete. Another opportunity down the field there. That was Jabril Murray. He had a step.
His deep ball attempt. I mean, they've been going to that a good bit. They've been trying to get to the deep ball, and it hasn't worked out. But I mean, they've gotten some separation, just, again, haven't been able to make the connections. And, Joe, they're selling out
I was about to
desserts.
say the bake sale has made its way into the stands.
I got a couple bucks if you want to buy them.
I'm about to make my way off headset, John.
If you do, get me something.
Yeah. John, I might not come back.
I can handle it if you do.
Don't tempt me.
I did.
It's another throw, this time short to one of the big fellas. Do we have a 77?
Umar Russell! Get up, big fella!
I thought we did. I went back. You beat me to it.
I will always try to beat you to that if I'm going to be able to say the big man's name. Put some respect on Umar Russell.
You think he'd appreciate the nickname Russ the Bus going downhill on
Russ
the carry?
The Bus. I there.
Mean, you're following in the footsteps of Jerome Bettis.
Yes.
I think those are good footsteps to follow in.
Take that. Yeah, always nice to have some fun at the end of these games.
Now, he is reporting eligible at the hand up.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again, Umar.
He's eligible. Pre-snap motion.
Look the other way.
Oh, Russell had room, but the throw is intercepted, and the Bearcats may do it, John. A run back here will make it 79 for Jersey. Pick 6, Charles Faulkner. Make that Kyle Ward. That grid, John.
It's small. It's small, Joe.
It's small.
That's why I got the clipboard out, so I can see it bigger. We have a player down in the end zone as well for Tri-State. We hope that he's doing all right. Trainer will come out and check on him. But defensive touchdown for Tri-State. Looking for 80 on the board. And this is a big kick for Hernandez Pius. I know it's technically a low-pressure situation, but it is a high-pressure kick.
It's technically a meaningless kick,
right,
but also a milestone kick at the same time.
Right.
We're inside of the final 90 seconds here at Waranenko. And you hate to see an injury at any point in a game, but this late in a game that's been decided, it's fortunate to see the Panthers quarterback up on his feet smiling.
Yeah.
Again, no number 17 on our roster, but it's been a night that has seen the Panthers signal caller forced to scramble, absorb some big hits, make plenty of throws under duress. And it's been a very unenviable task dealing with the pressure that the Bearcats have exerted on the defensive line up front.
It's been tough to deal with, and we just have such a physical Bearcat squad. Things will happen. But we are, again, very excited for this kick right here with 79 points on the board. 6 only for Tri-State. Hernandez Pius staying calm here, though.
You giving the Jazz hands,
Have
John?
to.
Have to.
It's like a free throw in college basketball.
Okay.
Hands up. It works, trust me.
Yeah.
It does.
I'll take your word for it.
Yep. Told you. Nope.
Never
Yes.
a doubt. Never a doubt. 80 points on the board for Jersey.
Scoring 80 for the Lady Bearcats. The Bearcats put up 80 points through every side of the ball. Defensively, they get in a few times. Offensively, they played fantastic. 80-6. You have outdone the team that beat you last week. And it is such an interesting flip when you're able to do that. When you're able to lose by 50 and then win by 70. It is a very interesting way to do it.
Quite this tale of two games, John. Quite the tale of two games. I was trying to think of the right phrasing for it, but definitely a tale of 2 weeks.
Tale of two Bearcats. I mean, these are two different teams that you're looking at from last week to this week. And again, against different competition, that's always going to be a big thing, and you always have to factor that in. But, I mean, it doesn't matter who you play against. When you take a loss, that's tough, and then you come back the next week and rebound so well. It's always good to see.
And I was about to make the point before, and I think we had a turnover as I was making the point, but in the first half, for much of that half, the Panthers were very much in this game with the possibility of that gold football looming.
Yeah.
They were down, I believe it was 21-6. So you certainly had the potential for the Panthers to get one more stop, and then all of a sudden, you're winning.
Right.
You know, you maximize that goal football, you're ahead in the game. Now, that's easier said than done against the Bearcats, and Jersey, to their credit, immediately responded with a touchdown and effectively, with one more score beyond that, put this game out of reach. But for the better part of about, I'd say close to 25 minutes, the Panthers were very much in this game. And in the second half, it just has gotten away from them completely. The Jersey Bearcats with a big lead at halftime. Don't lose that in this either. But in the second half, it hasn't been nearly as competitive as it was for the first 25 minutes.
It hasn't, and when you go down big the second half, you can really get demoralized. They're going to go with the golden football jump. Down by 74, you take the golden football with 59.9 left to go. Yes, that was a real sentence.
I will not police the grammar.
No. Just put 1 second on the clock. It was 59.9. Now the clock reads 1.
Well, it appears this will be our final play of the game unless they put an even minute. And they put an even minute on. Golden football in play. Likely the final possession of the game for the Panthers.
Player came out late.
Do they have the right number of players on the field? I think they've sorted it out. And it will be a throw. Pressure on the way, and that's delivered high and complete.
Looked like he wasn't sure that he was going to substitute on and be in that play. There's a lot of yelling to get him on the field, and he still took his time to get on the field. Tri-State trying to make this score a little different with the golden football here.
clock now stopped. Initially it was running, but they've stopped it at 52.6.
Yeah, the 1 minute warning after the minute. It all stops on everything.
Pre-snap motion once again on 2nd and 10. Throw downfield. Incomplete. Big chance there once again for Murray. Right off his fingertips.
There's a big hit by Nathaniel as well. But yeah, that throw just came down a little bit lower and wasn't able to get enough hot sauce on that throw there. Nice snag by the ref again, but just wasn't able to get enough under that. Could have had a golden ball touchdown if there was a little bit more juice.
46 seconds remaining. Keep in mind, gold football in play won't make a difference in terms of the result. But I have to say, John, optically, if you can finish the game in the 20s, it looks a lot better than a single-digit number.
Looks better. It would be a similar score to what the Bearcats did last week against Columbus if they're able to do that and get an extra 16 here.
It's a throw, downfield, and off the roof. That really takes the air out of a call. Nothing like a ball hitting the roof to serve as a buzzkill.
It does. And it was a nice route, nicely run, and yet as a quarterback, you get a lot of air under that football and try to soar that ball through the air, and there's not enough air to put it through.
Well, we're having a lot of fun at the DJ booth and public address station.
Yeah.
Busting out the moves.
There you go, finally. Sometimes you got to let loose.
I can't relate.
I know you can. I know. My words are falling on deaf ears to you, I guess.
Many have tried and many have failed.
I know.
39.2 on the clock. It is 4th down.
There you go. He's getting into it now.
Anthony, I wasn't familiar with his game. Anthony and DJ Sparks.
Yeah.
Putting on a show.
I'm there.
I think he heard his name.
Oh.
As it's a double pass attempt. That falls incomplete. Turnover on downs. Now, will Jersey try and score?
I think so. It's kind of in their nature. Once it gets to 80-6, I doubt you just sit on the football, unless if they're just going to run one play and let the clock run, but we'll see what they do. Obviously, the proper thing to do would be to take the kneel down and go home.
Well, you can't kneel.
Oh, you can't, right, you can't.
But I don't think I've ever seen a team decline to score in this situation.
No.
So I think we should be poised for a shot at the end zone.
I would say so. And
Now,
it's still Rodriguez.
I think another question would be, is there any chance you'd call a timeout in your effort to score?
That I don't think
is a guarantee.
That I think, that I would not do. But it wouldn't surprise me either, I would say.
Rodriguez under center. Timeout was called by the Panthers bench. They didn't get it in. And Kyle Ward is in for another Jersey Bearcats touchdown.
Well, that was easy.
Perhaps a bit too easy. The Panthers bench was screaming for a timeout. They did not get it. And it will cost them 6 points. The official just told them they don't have any. Do they, based on our score bug? They do have one.
Yeah.
They have one.
It's through the challenge flag.
The calls for a timeout fall on deaf ears, and the Bearcats now lead by 80.
The challenge flag is on the field back here. And you can't challenge that, obviously.
Well, a heated discussion regarding whether or not Panthers had a timeout left was ongoing. To no avail.
Nope.
22.9 on the clock. PAT coming up for the Bearcats.
less pressure kick here today, here in this 87, trying for 87 points.
PAT is good. 87 for the Bearcats with 22.9 to go.
87. Can't think of any puns to make with that number, unfortunately, but
I think 78 would have been a single game high in any game that I've covered for points last week.
Yeah.
Obviously, for me, this is a high in total points for an arena game by far, for me, by any team. We had a semi-pro football game that I believe reached 72 in our first year of coverage on PDF.
Right.
So prior to tonight, that was the high for a single game.
Now it's 87. That's what, 93 total points in the game? I don't know if that record is...
Now, I couldn't tell you what the high for combined points was. Because in that game where 72 was scored, I think only 6 were scored on the other side.
Yeah, I think last week's score is still a total higher than, I believe it was 78 to 26.
My memory for broadcasts that I've been a part of is typically good. Not that good.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you the highest combined total points.
I will say I've called basketball games with lower scores than this at the college level. Combined.
As have I.
Yep.
As have I. Many.
Yeah.
That kickoff skips into the arms of the return man inside of the Panthers 10. And engage the truck stick right there. The helmet comes off. A couple of Bearcats went down along the way. And how about that run back by Hector Salazar, lowering the shoulder and engaging the truck stick.
He's fired up. He is fired up.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. What a run. I can't remember the name of that Patriots lineman that got the football and took it all the way to the 6 on a kick return one time.
No.
But if you know ball, you know what I'm talking about.
I think defensive lineman, did Vince Wilfork ever score a touchdown?
Did who?
As a ball carrier?
Who did?
Vince Wilfork.
I believe
did he ever take a handoff? I feel like I recall that happening.
I believe he took a pick. I think he actually has a pick.
Oh, you're right. He might have had a scoop and score a pick 6.
B.J. Raji has one. I know that.
Yep, I remember that. He did not score any touchdowns, Vince Wilfork.
I think we're thinking of B.J. Raji.
Well, I know B.J. Raji did it.
Of course. The art of the big man run is something that needs to be studied and really emphasized, I think.
The art of power and endurance building.
Yes.
Enough power to get in there, scoop the football, or maybe even the hands to pick it off, and then the endurance to make it the necessary yardage back. Let's find out how long B.J. Raji's touchdown was.
It was not very long.
No?
I think it was under 20 yards.
Okay. 18 yards.
Yeah.
Pick 6 against the Chicago Bears in the 2011 NFC Championship. The colossal 337-pound defensive tackle.
Yeah.
that is how, I'm assuming this is Google's AI describing it.
It was the NFC Championship game. I do remember
Caleb Haney was quarterbacking the 2011 NFC Championship?
That sounds wrong. But maybe it was at the end of the game?
Maybe.
It was 21-14. Was it Caleb Haney?
Did Jay Cutler get hurt? Was he the Bears
was
quarterback?
he still on the Broncos at that point?
He might have been.
I don't know. I was 10.
I was a bit older. As that falls incomplete. And the clock is going to run to 0 unless they decide not. But we've gone final. The Bearcats with a big win. The officials will officially blow the whistle to end this one.
Yep.
Jersey wins 87-6. We're going to speak to Mateo Rodriguez and Naeem Archer.
Yeah.
Dave's going to head down and grab them.
Obviously, Coach Roque after that. Once he ends, or before. Sometimes the order changes. It's just whenever everyone's available.
Not sure how much more we can say, John, at the end of this one.
I've really run out of things to say. It's just an 87-6 game. It's awesome, and I think you just have to go to the vibes. I know you're not a vibes guy, but
ooh, no.
that is.
I know somebody who is.
Who do you know that's a vibes guy?
Our
Besides
colleague
me?
Joe Calabrese.
Yes, he's a vibes guy.
Yeah.
I think he'd be, if he was here, he'd be loving it. So we're going to get Mateo Rodriguez coming up on the headset right here, Joe.
All right, we have to unmute his microphone, make sure we have his audio. We get him in the camera shot as well. Offensive MVP Mateo Rodriguez, kind enough to join us. Mateo, big win for your team. You executed well on offense. How did things go so well tonight? How did you put up 87? The defense had a big hand in it, but your offense did their part as well.
Yeah, just coming off of the loss that we had the last 2 weeks, we just try to get into more of arena football. So that's why, if you guys saw, and pretty much everybody else saw, that we're trying to go under center. So we're just trying something new, and it worked out good. I'm surprised. It worked out. We started it on Tuesday, and so we just wanted to try to get out and see how to feel for it. But hey, if under center gives us 87 points a game, then we'll do that more.
Yeah, how did you feel as a quarterback? Obviously, you worked for Columbus last week in that loss, and it's good for you to rebound. But how did you feel going under center? I know you've run a lot of shotgun over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, it's tough. I haven't really run under center. The game has evolved, outdoor and indoor, with mostly pistol and shotgun. But, I had to take a couple of reps. I got to definitely get better at it. But, like I said, it's been a while since probably Pop Warner. So, but today it worked out good.
Looking ahead to 3 big league games in the final 4 weeks, what did you see in those first matchups against teams like Wheeling and Columbus that you took from those games heading into the last 3 games of the season?
Yeah, coming from the AL2, we're playing pro teams now, and we definitely see that, with the size and the intensity, especially the arenas, in that environment, and with those fans, we just see that, we just have to take it to another level and just, have the same intensity those guys have. And I think this win definitely calmed us down a little bit. We're gonna go into the bye, and we're just gonna figure things out and get ready for Wheeling in 2 weeks.
All right, congrats on the big win, Mateo. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Our offensive MVP tonight, Mateo Rodriguez.
Just stand right here for me. Right?
We're going to get Naeem Archer in the frame. Naeem, kind enough to join us. Big night for the defense as a unit. Big night for you. 2 interceptions. What really got things going defensively, and how do you feel about this effort? Just 6 up there tonight.
Defensively, we did great. We were hungry, and we wasn't coming off the loss last week. We were trying to start early and put our motion into the game.
Yeah, you guys were doing push-ups. We dropped the ball, push-ups immediately into a pick. How big was that?
Yeah, had to come back right after that and get the pick. Had to make up for that.
Now, is the conversation after the game, the number up there should have been 0, or are we satisfied at 6?
No, yeah, definitely should have been 0. And we should have put up more touchdowns.
I had a feeling. Thanks for joining us, Naeem. Congratulations, Defensive Player of the Game.
Appreciate
Big
you.
win. Best of luck the rest of the way. All right, I believe we will be standing by waiting for Coach Roquet. We'll give him a few moments, Dave. Going to track him down as the Lady Bearcats celebrate the victory. Spectators have been thanked for their attendance, but looks like we have one more conversation to be had with Coach Roquet.
Dave's got him.
All right, Coach, welcome back. Obviously a big win for the team tonight. Looking ahead the rest of the way, 3 big league games during the final 4 weeks of the regular season. What did you take away from those first meetings with teams like Columbus, like Wheeling, heading into a second matchup moving ahead?
Well, starting with Wheeling, right? After the bye, we got to get healthy. Have our tryout first, because that's a real thing. We definitely have to try, right? Get better in spots that we need to. But we just, with those guys, you playing those guys first, you see what you need to win those type of games, right? Against those different ball players, right? That they have. And I think that's what we're going to accomplish here in these next, this bye week, these next 2 weeks here.
And how big is it for you guys to have kind of completely flipped the script, right? you're on the other end of a game like this. Last week, you turned it into a game 87-6. That the other team kind of has the same emotions that you had from last week. I mean, how big is it to flip the script for you guys?
I mean, it's all right, honestly. Not really looking at it at the score-wise, right? We want to come in here and really work on execution because that's what we need to do in order to play with Wheeling and Columbus, and Mississippi too. Let's not, leave those guys out. And that's what we got to do here these next 2 weeks is get better before we get into those league play games.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Mississippi as well because that's the third of those 3 league games. Haven't seen the Wolfpack yet this year. Of course, the game last year in the championship, you got to look at them. But how big is playing here in Waranenko during the first round? Still very much up for grabs, a top 2 spot in the AAL standings.
Yeah, I mean, again, always playing home, right? Whenever, playoffs, regular season, it always helps. And, we'd love to have a home game. But I don't think it's going to happen this season.
All right, John, any last thoughts before we let Coach Roque go?
I mean, just what's the message going into next week now? I mean, you'll have road trips coming up soon again, but what's the message heading into next week after you got right? This was a get-right game, but how do you carry that into next week?
Now we got to get better for Wheeling.
Right.
We got to go find players that are going to fit our style that we need to get over that hump, right? We're 0-4, I want to say, versus Wheeling. So it's about time that, we get over that hump, right, against Wheeling. It's what a better week to go into a bye week and come out and get better.
All right, best of luck moving forward. Thanks for taking the time. Coach A.J. Roque, kind enough to join us during our post-game wrap-up. Bearcats with a big win, 87-6 over the Tri-State Panthers.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys as always.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, John, so as we let Coach Roque go, final thoughts following tonight's result. It's a big win for the Bearcats, one that even though it is against a very different level of competition, we mentioned AAL down to AAL2. There is a jump there. They played what we would argue probably is the postseason favorite in the AAL last week. They play an AAL2 opponent this week. That being said, I think they took care of business tonight, did what they were supposed to do, came away with the big win. Final takeaways.
I would say so. And honestly, that answer from Coach Roque, right, that answer of I don't really care about the score that we put up. I care about how we executed our offense, how plays worked, how the defense played, all that great stuff. And they're going to go out and get more players if they go into a bye week next week. But this team's going to look a little bit different, and they hope to look different in terms of how they play. And 87-6 is a great performance. There's not a lot negative to take away, and I'm sure that they'll find stuff to improve on. They'll find things in film to work on. But now they get kind of a rest, and they've got some tough games to go against. And Wheeling's going to be a tough opponent. That's kind of the team that they're going to look at and go, okay, if we're going to go out and get that 2 seed, that's a team you have to beat no matter what. And they have Mississippi. So
it's a rest for us as well, John. We'll be back here at Waranenko in, I believe, 3 weeks on June 6th, if memory serves me correct. Dave's giving me the thumbs up. That'll be the next time we cover Jersey Bearcats Arena football. So until then, this has been Joe Foreman alongside John McCooch. Sabrina and Lily Pizzuto engineering and doing camera for us tonight. Dave lending the assist as our producer. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, and we'll see you back here at Waranenko in June.